Today we're going to be checking out Ale Abbey, with apparently the slogan "In Beer We Trust." For those not familiar, this game did just come out into 1.0 very, very recently. You can see it down there. But it is sort of a tycoon game around running a monastery/brewery. I don't know much beyond other than you brew a bunch of beers and ales and all that and whatnot. Pretty much that's the only thing I know about the game. So we're going to start by checking out to see what accessibility options. So I do appreciate that you can turn on and off the pixel fonts, which it's interesting that clicking on that changed the window size and made that go away. Yeah, so that's... Yeah, so it's basically saying, hey, you can turn on and off the pixel fonts, which I really do appreciate that games that do the pixel fonts do give us these options nowadays. Because as you can see, when I turn that on, this is way harder to read. And I wouldn't even say this is a particularly stylized pixel font, but there's been many games in the past I've had where they like, what's the one? Where it's like a reverse tower defense. Loop Hero. Like they had a really, really cool stylized pixel font that was nearly impossible to read. So I do appreciate they have that. They do have a thing to turn off camera shake because that causes motion sickness for some people and can be obnoxious at times. They do have color blindness. I don't know what the eye here is about. But they got the color blindness mode. I have no idea what that's doing here, but that's good that they got color blindness considerations. The audio and all the other stuff is surprising, and the ability to change controls, so that's all good. So we're gonna go ahead and begin a new game. Estimating recipe, adherence, and style specifications. Name your abbey. Mostly ethical brews. Oh, you're melted, or your maltiness. You finally arrived. Welcome to Ale Abbey. The monastery and fermentation... I'm going to adjust the volume here in a minute. Fermentation order. I'm Brother Malthus, your appointed consular. Together, we're going to make brewing history. Don't worry, I'll guide you through the first steps. Let's get started. Start the tutorial. Escape, save, audio... It's actually mostly... Oh. You can choose just to, like, turn off stuff. Yeah, I'll try that. Alright. To inspect your abbey, move the camera around with WASD. And this is working with Dvorak, so that's good. Use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Okay. Double-click on his room to zoom. Alright. You can change the game speed or even pause it by using the console in the upper right corner of your screen. Rest assured, you can work at your own pace. Congratulations, you've completed the tutorial. Figure it out. Get wrecked, nerd. Okay, press F. Press F11 for feedback. All right, one comment to the developers. Read that for me. If you're gonna have that prompt up on the screen the whole time, it's gonna need a background. Like it's fine when it's up here, but anytime you're gonna have text, you either need a border or a background or something like that. Alright, so I'm assuming we click on that, because it's blinking at me. Well, we finally made it. Never thought they'd need a bishop all the way up here. Oh, hello. Usually I avoid fanfare, but it's always nice to have a welcoming committee. Now let's skip to small talk. I'm here to make sure the clergy has handled our local interests are kept in check. The monastery looks reasonable, but we can do better. We can make more money. We can plate it all in gold. I'll oversee management, direct, and at times demand. Off you go now. I have some serious pondering to do. On the John. Your maltiness. To expand our holy brewing mission, we need florins. And for that, we need to sell ale. We don't know many styles yet, so we can keep it simple. Let's whip up a recipe of light ale, perfect for this hot spring. Oh, I'm parched just thinking about it. It'll be great. It'll be swill. It'll be flavorless. It's light ale. Now, off to the library. Time to find us a desk. Okay, so we must build a recipes desk in the library, create a recipe for a light ale style, and we shall receive 120 florins. Water with a hint of water taste. Yes. Water that was once in the presence of hops. Okay. So that's research. That's not what I want. So that's the build menu. I can make a staircase. So clearly not that one. Place furniture. There's a wall candle. Recipes desk. Okay. That's the life you live. Oh, okay. It's literally I put it there. Create a, let's see, new recipe. Create a new recipe. All right, Nightdweller, you take it easy. Select style, a light ale. See, even they get it. Quality, like half out of 10. Quality range, swill. A thin, nearly flavorless, nevertheless a lot of healthier and fun to drink compared to warm water. Very easy to enjoy with a meal. Let's sterilize some water. Yeah, it's just grog. Okay. Alright. So... Oh. Prompts at top. You need at least one portion of each mandatory ingredient for preparing a recipe. How do ingredient? Okay, everything's in the green zone. All right. Select fermentine. So we can have Honora, who has +3/+3 on whatever the heck that is. And you've got Valentin, who has +2/+2 on whatever that is. Oh, intelligence and sophistication. Well, apparently she's a very sophisticated lady, so we'll have her do it. Did you join here last time you were playing Vintage Story? Oh, you were here the other day when we were playing Vintage Story. Because I believe, were you here yesterday? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were here last night towards the end of stream. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so we're gonna move that forward. Enter the name here. All right, so let's see who gets to be our first beer. I honestly feel like your name just works. The Grande Clayso. Like, I don't feel like I have to add anything in there. I feel like a Grande Clayso would be the name of a, you know, I wouldn't say bougie beer, but, you know, some microbrew. I'm gonna go with it. Or Grande Clayso Light. There's no regular, but there is a light version, because it is a light ale. Okay. Congratulations, we made a recipe. Alright, so let's see how it goes. I managed to get like all the little bars in the green thing. For those, I should have probably spoken through it. It looks like what happens is you have the ingredients and you'll click on one ingredient. I don't know what the 4 stats are, but let's say like one's like how sour it is, one how hoppy it is, one like how dense it is or whatever. And it's like, okay, these ones go up by this much, and then you put the other ingredient and maybe one goes down. So you have to kind of like juggle the ingredients till you get them all in the bars. And imagine with like 2 it's going to be easy, but once you start getting more it'll be hard. You have received 120 florins. Alright. I expected birdsong and nature's peach, but instead it's murmuring and wailing and snoring. This has to stop. Find your fermentines a proper place to sleep, or I'll lose my mind. And no, floors don't count, no matter how fancy. For the love of hops, build a dormitory with some beds for these poor souls. They'll thank you, and so will I. Alright, so we need to build a dormitory with a bunk bed. So I'm judging by what's going to work out that this is probably going to work similar to, what's the game? Probably similar to like the fallout shelter. Yeah, so we build up an area up here. Plunk down a dormitory. I could probably also put it down there. Oh, I already have that. I need to be on the furniture. Okay. So yeah, so it looks like it works kind of like Fallout Shelter and those kind of games and the structure, or like Sim Tower or whatever. Okay. Bunk beds. Cool. You have received 150 florins. Let me guess, you have a quest, probably about brewing. I'm gonna guess it's about brewing. The time has come, your maltiness, to brew our Virgin of Ambrosia. Dude, it's a light beer. You're gonna need to really lower your well, light ale. You're gonna have to really lower those expectations by magnitudes. Set up a brewery with a boiler and a fermenter. Instruct a brewer how much to wash their hands and leave them to it. Pick any recipe you like. I'm eager to see everything I heard about your brewing prowess are true. I'm gonna be real. I did brew my own beer for a while, just kind of as a hobby. Some of it was decent. Some of it was pretty terrible. Just genuinely not good. Ah, here we go. So I need a basic brewing stove and a basic fermenter. Basic new brew. Select recipe. Oh, there we go. The Grande Queso Light. You have... Oh, that's an infection probability. Hang on, wait a second. I was like, oh, that's a bigger number. We want that. No. Honora, you get to do it. Because you have only an 8% chance of infecting the beer. Apparently there is a high demand for our utter terrible light beer in Hopfendorf. What am I missing? Oh, choose the quantity. Or choose the quantity? Yeah, how do, oh. Do it. Congratulations, you finished the brewing tutorial. So we're going to brew an obnoxious amount of beer, I think. Actually, I have no idea if that's an obnoxious amount. What is that? New fermenting candidates are available for hire. So, you have slightly higher in drunkenness. You have higher in everything else. Sure. You know what? I'll take both of them. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. Hoppendorf, Hops Village. You had friends, twins, who brewed their own mead, and they said it essentially tasted zero like anything. At least not honey. Unless you add a little flavor later. Oh yeah, no, so like, it was a whole thing where you'd get like the whole like kit to get all this stuff. And it was pretty decent. And I definitely did like, 8 or 9 different batches, and I had like 1 or 2 that were genuinely good. I had a whole bunch that were kind of just like, they weren't bad, they weren't good, they were fine, and I had like 1 that was like really terrible. And it was the one that's really terrible is when I kind of was like, you know what, never mind, because it's not cheaper than just buying beer. Like, it's genuinely just more expensive than just going to the grocery store and getting a case of beer. So it's kind of a fun hobby to do. And then, honestly, brewing beer, if you want to know what the experience is, a man imagine like going in your kitchen and then just like doing a deep clean of your kitchen to like really, really clean it. And then just doing that every single time with every single thing you're going to use involved with the beer. And otherwise just boil some stuff and pour it in a thing. It's like 90% just cleaning everything and being very, very careful. Because if you mess up and you get bacteria in it, you're no longer making beer, you're making bacteria. You're just making a very large petri dish. Okay, so we have made our first beer. Grande Queso. It has got a quality of 17. Your maltiness. Let's call it the Grande Queso Light 1. Decidedly reasonable. Its quality is 17 out of 100, which is acceptable. With a little effort, I foresee a shiny future. Ah, the high praise of what is this beer? Acceptable. Okay. We're gonna lean just a little bit on the happy side to try and move that. Yeah, 1.7 out of 10. Decidedly reasonable is a decent slogan. It doesn't make the customers puke. To be fair, when you're talking light beers, that's kind of what you're aiming for. It's like, you know what? It wasn't a terrible time. Okay, you have received 150 florins and 1 fame. Better than dysentery. Alright. Listen, ale and faith are necessary, but your fermentines can't live on spirit alone. Sure, they can cook, but we need them to focus on brewing. So, let's find someone to handle their meals. It's a dull task. But if you build a refectory and properly equip it, a volunteer will surely step up, free of charge, naturally. Okay, so I need to build a refectory with dining room and yada yada. You get the drill. So let's go here to our building stuff. Refectory. Yes, I'm assuming I put it down here. Do these have restrictions to them? I wasn't sure if it's gonna be one of those things that's like, oh no, you can't put it on the ground floor. That's right out. So I'm gonna build it over here. This wine doesn't make you mad. Bacteria used to be grown in liquid substrate in labs too, so checks out. Terrible to filter them out and put under a microscope or anything. Yup. You believe this game is set in Bavaria? I mean, yeah, vaguely somewhere around there. Like, in the times of like all the monasteries and that was one of the places you'd run into them, is like Bavaria and all that. A batch of Grande Queso has arrived in the town. Cool. Place furniture. I will need a cooking pot and a dining table. Each table can seat 2, so make sure to buy additional tables as your population grows. 150 florin. Well, if that's the case, I got 4 people. Now that the fermentines' bellies are full, there's no excuses. Time to focus on brewing. We're pulling triple shifts, half the pay. Remember, ale is the only path for a monastery to thrive both spiritually and, if I may add, financially. It's only by brewing that we lift the fermentine order up. Throughout our lives, we must brew, and brew we shall, over and over again. Brew a light ale. Sell it on the market. Okay. New brew. Yup. More. Okay, so we're brewing that. I'm assuming I need more beds. I need a bed where 2 monks or nuns can sleep. Yes, mixed rooms? What? What potential issues? That's the available people. Okay, so that should be enough beds for everyone. Alright. And the game is slowly unlocking new things and all that stuff. Yeah. Like you have it's like, what is the status? Didn't die. 10 out of 10. Consuming this was not tragic. 8 out of 10. I'd say Bavaria used to be wine-making country for a long time because it was firmly within the Roman Empire. Their hated northern cousins, what they like to call the Prussians later, spread beer brewing. Of course, no Bavarian likes to hear that. Oh, is it one of those things that people argue? It's like, no, we're where this came from. And everyone's like, no, we're where that came from. We're like, we made this popular, or like whatever. That's here in the U.S., it's like heavily depicted that like, you know, Italians are like the kings of pasta and all that. And the people are like, yes, but you know what? Pasta actually came from China. You're welcome, Marco Polo. Brought that to Italy. Okay. This week we sold 26 liters of ale for 80 florins. Wait, was it Marco Polo? I don't remember. It was one of those old one of the explorers of the past that brought the they brought Chinese rice pasta over to Italy, and Italy was like, yes, this is our future. Pasta. This is going to be a culinary identity. Yeah, very much in the particular about Bavaria equals beer. Yeah, no, there's a bunch of those kind of things that you can go throughout history where you'll have two different groups that are like kind of fighting over like either who invented or who popularized it or who mainstreamed it or whatever words they want to use. Like where the people who brought that thing into like the mainstream are. Grande Kleso 2 has been brewed. We're definitely going to need to be able to explore. Okay. You have received 100 florins. The question is, when I ship it, does it last forever? Or if, like, I don't sell it after a certain period of time, does it go bad? Brewing tethers us to tradition, but there is still progress to be made. That's our latest directive. I don't know what cosmic revelations can be extracted from toying around with 4 ingredients, but stranger things have happened. Build a laboratorium. That's an interesting way of doing that. Laboratorium. Equip it, staff it, try not to blow up anything. Can I build down? I feel like the laboratorium needs to be in the basement. We need to hide what we're doing here. Others must not know about what we're doing in our laboratorium. Oh, I probably have to wait for that to be built. Some traders across the ancient Silk Roads, I guess. Oh, for bringing the pasta? Nah, it was definitely one of the explorers. I thought it was Marco Polo, but I'm second guessing that. Ah, I can't build the laboratorium underground. Boo, game. It's fine. Okay, so it's looking like I can't build higher than this right now. So I guess the laboratorium is going next to our brewery. You want to say Macedonia is the direction of the grain trade with Alexander the Great's conquest? And then Rome's echo? Yeah, I don't know about the grain trade. I remember it was rice noodles were brought over to Italy, and then, you know, they took that into making more than just rice noodles and a bunch of other things, and, you know, they expanded on that. I mean, beer probably originated in Egypt first, but it's not so terribly difficult to invent fermented alcohol drink. It happened all over the world. Yeah, this is true. Alright, so let's go here. Furniture. Not enough florins. Oh, well, that's embarrassing. Maybe.
Thank you Zidian_ for subscribing for 44 months. This game looks so cute.
Hey Zidian, thank you for the tier 1 sub. That's 44 months you've been subbed the channel. Coming up on 4 years real fast. So thank you so much for that. That is a heckin' long time, and I really do appreciate it. And hope you've been enjoying the stream. This week we sold 114 liters of ale for 364 florins. Yes. Give me the money so that we might commit science. Assign researcher. And Honora is significantly better than everyone else at it. Okay. You have received 200 florins and a fame. You had a RimWorld mod suddenly stopped working, mid-save, was literally working, then randomly started causing an error. Like, you had literally been using it for less than 30 seconds earlier. Yeah, no, that happens. You just had some exception, probably something got set in memory, and then just the whole thing caught fire. But the funny story, the way we know about Halloween Witch is from the demonized version of women brewers, who were demonized for sharing the craft with men, right down to straw brooms used to clean. Oh, interesting. I can see that. Your maltiness. As esteemed as it may be, our monastery has begun accumulating character. Dust bunnies the size of pilgrims are gathering in the corners, and the refectory floor is now more litter than stone. We're in dire need of a maintenance locker. Research how to build it and get this place cleaned up. Good. We need to research basic sanitation for our brewery. A thing that if you're lacking in basic sanitation is going to result in poisoning a lot of people. Allows the purchase of maintenance locker to give access to cleaning and light refilling tools. Cool. They're doing it better than the guys rather than forwarding society. Yeah, no, I mean, that's unfortunately a very big reoccurring thing. The one I'm very familiar with is tech, specifically like software developers. When programming as a profession first showed up into existence, it was considered a women's job because as far as professionals at the time, it was seen as being very secretarial. Fast forward a little bit, and these women were doing all these amazing things because of that, and effectively got shoved out of the industry entirely, to a point that like they're now very heavily in the minority in the industry, which granted it's been improving the last 15-20 years, but that's after things are pretty bad. But, like, there's a lot, like, when you look at a lot of things, like, where the initials of, like, cryptography came from, and a lot of our advancements so far as, like, file storage and all sorts of, you know, things, so much of that were, like, primarily, you know, women doing the discovery and all that. Like, you even look at the first reported computer bug, where we get the term bug to refer to as a flaw in a computer application, was, you know, women who created that. And it was basically a literal moth had gotten inside of a machine and shorted it out, because that was back when, you know, it was physical hardware at large scale, and the moth shorted out, I think it was a transistor or whatever, but shorted out a component in the computer. And it's like, why was the computer down? And there's just, we had a bug, and the word stuck. Vacuum tube? Yeah, that sounds about right. Alright. We can go here. I can't tell if that's working or not. I see a red dot over there, which makes me want to click on it. I got that clicked. And I'm assuming it's going. But that bar's filling, and I don't really know what that bar's filling means. It's like making a book icon plus 2 or whatever. Oh, it's 10. I see. Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, I used to know all their names off of it because it was when I would go to do, there was a number of talks I would do, and one of the ones when I was going to like middle schools and all that, and we'd talk about programming, we'd actually talk about, you know, we wouldn't get as heavy on some of its stuff, but we'd talk about the origins. And one of the things that I made it a point to do was to, oh, was it Lovelace? I can't remember, but it was one of those things that I would have a handful of like 5 or 6 like really well-known women who helped pioneer. Yeah, Ada Lovelace. That was right. And there's Grace Hopper. That's no one. Yeah, no. Was Ada Lovelace the one who basically began the process that led to cryptography? I used to know all these off the top of my head. But yeah, no. I had a handful of them. I had like the there was like a couple of people I knew who were very important for astronomy, like I should say space exploration, not astronomy. Space exploration and all that. A bunch were important for programming. And so when I give those talks, I'd make it a point to point out some of those individuals. So, you know, for a lot of the women to kind of be like, hey, this is an option. This is a career path available for you. You know, we don't see many, like, there's not many people you see that are presented as a role model, but they are out there. They fly under the radar. Okay, so we're gonna need to make more furniture. I keep trying to build the room itself as opposed to the furniture. So we would need another set of beds in the dormitory, and another set of dining tables in here. Yeah, the research, I wish I could definitely use for something. No, I definitely have enough research. So, I'm assuming this is researched? Okay, so let's try... Okay, so research goes in here. Is it any room gets it? Ah. A bunch of different rooms need their own maintenance lockers. So I guess that the people in their individual rooms would use the maintenance locks to fix things. Grace Hopper's the one with the bug that shorted the circuits. Gotcha. Ada Lovelace was programmed Badger's differential engine. It's speculated that one day it'll be used for making music and pictures, and people laughed. Gotcha. Didn't punch cards originally come from weaving looms? Oh man, I don't remember that one, because it used to be. I know the punch cards were later on became as basically glorified cut tag board. You only need one locker. That's fine. These monasteries are sure ugly and empty. My throat is dry. I could use an ale. You know who? Margaret Hamilton? Not off the top of my head. Like I said, I used to have all these big names in science and all that kind of just off the top of my head. So again, like, because like you'd look especially at the time that this was going on, because this would be from like 2008, 2010 that I started going to schools to promote STEM education and all that kind of stuff, and a bunch of these talks I did for like, you know, professionals and all that came a little bit later. But all the way till like just before the pandemic. It's kind of the pandemic that was when that kind of dropped off, because just they made it so much more difficult to get into being able to talk to people and all that. Some of the pieces of wood with holes in them, they were punch cards used in weaving looms a long time ago. Gotcha. But yeah, so just kind of one of those things about, you would think about when you think of programmers or software developers or people in that industry at the time, and you'd think like Bill Gates, Steve Wozniak, you know, individuals like that would be the ones that people would naturally come up with, you know, which are very, very similar people and all that. And then, you know, you'd be like, well, yeah, but you also have all these other individuals that people don't think about. Because a lot of software development, the major advancements happen really in the background, like in the background that you just don't see them. They're not highly visible. There's not many of them that do highly visible things, even though they're very important things. Okay, I want this to be cleaned. You can clean rooms now, refill lights. Click on the broom icon in the bottom right of a dirty room. Oh, click on the broom icon on the down right of a dirty room. Okay. But she's one of the people who made the mission impossible to land on the moon and popularized the term software engineering. Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah. Isn't she the one that, Oh. Isn't she the one that Armstrong was like, I'm not going if she doesn't double check the math kind of thing? Wasn't there a transwarp for NASA? I mean, I'd be surprised there isn't. NASA has a ton of people. Just by like raw statistics, it'd be very probable. Much like everything else, I feel unbearable heat under these habits. But I've come up with a solution. Cellars. We'll tell the clergy it's for the loggers. Jeez. Cool temperatures, long-term storage, nobody will come looking. Actually, research will make it even more believable. Research cellars and then their barrels, and let's start construction right away. Alright, so with the money though, I have been falling behind on producing my brews. So I'm gonna go ahead and make more beer. So Randy here has the highest chance of not killing everybody. So we're going to go ahead and get another brew going out. I mean, back in those days, maybe not that far back. I mean, it would still probably be likely to be true. I'm willing to bet it was something that was very under the radar if it was back then. Just because of the times, like, you know, the way people responded to certain things. Let's go ahead and research cellars. So cellar will be 350. Yeah, I need to stay on top of brewing the beer. I hope we get a new brew soon. Every brew has a special effect, and using the effects is super fun. You don't know the terminology was trans, but there was what we would consider trans working there when the Apollo was launched. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, you know, people in those slices of life have been around for an extremely long time. And so it'd be statistically improbable that an organization as big as NASA wouldn't have one. Just by raw statistics. Which you recall are being important to missions? Yeah, no, I don't know off the top of my head, unfortunately. Let's see, cellar barrels are where ale is stored for future use or Abbey's internal consumption. Okay, so I finished this. Hey, that one was a somewhat better brew. Congratulations, your maltiness. The Grande Clayso Light 3 has reached 33 out of 100 quality. It's an ale of considerable merit. It's a light ale. Don't lie to me. Don't say it's considerable merit. Alright. So we will sell that. Alright. I mean, raw statistics imply there are more trans people working at NASA than most other non-tech ones? Yeah. I mean, NASA is a huge organization, generally speaking, especially if we're including all the people who contract under them. Versus just like direct employees. Like it is not a small organization. So new brew. This fermenter has brewed this recipe before. If they brew it again, the base result will remain the same, with temporary modifiers changing the outcome. The recipe's quality range always sets an upper and lower limits. Any traits acquired during the first brewing will remain unchanged. Gotcha. So basically, I could go through and have everyone take an attempt at that to see who gets the best. That said, considering the cap here appears to be 33 as the max, Randy's just gonna keep doing that. Oh, we're gonna need to wait, because otherwise I don't want to take a loan. I thought LGBT history and medical care was destroyed when certain mustache man took over and started burning books. Yeah. There's also been other events in addition to that that have done the thing. What is this saying? Fermenter's satisfaction depressed. So we've not been the best at taking care of our people. Attempts for gender conversion surgery were made just after World War I, at least in Germany. If you remember correctly, the reports in the US newspaper that started there too, I guess in the 1950s, it must have been a sexual occurrence? Oh, sizable occurrence? Yeah, no, it's because even like a lot of those things, a lot of the movements that have happened nowadays, if you actually follow them back, they go a long ways back. Like it's not a modern thing. Yeah, so our people's mood are bouncing around a lot. Because the rooms are ugly and they want something to drink. The problem is I need money. So if they would just make me a lot of money, we could talk about it. So once they sell this batch of ale, are you familiar with Public Universal Friend? That is a term I am not familiar with. And I don't know what these bars mean. Oh, that's just the way of keeping track of the date. Ah, yeah, okay, we're doing abacus thing. So these beads over here being yellow means they represent increments of 10, and those are 1s. And I'm guessing we'll have one that also represents 5. So like there'll be like a red one or whatever, or a green one over here. Read their Wikipedia? Yeah, no, it's a term I'm not familiar with. Alright, so a quick rebrew. Unlock the ability to quickly repeat a brew already done before. Creative pairings. Unlocks the possibility to add ingredients to a recipe outside of a style. I'm just going to keep unlocking things because it doesn't cost money to do that. It costs research. So we're basically waiting for our brew to sell that I sent off the town. Okay. So I got 130 something florins there. I'm gonna go here, new brew, do this. Because you're able to make it max quality. So get that going. You thought the yellow ones are 5? Well, if it's going by day, it's day 27. That would only be 15. Unless like that, it could also be days of the week, that these are your weekdays, these are the weekend. I'm not super sure. That might be it. It might be weekdays versus weekend. Okay, so you're making my next brew. Meanwhile, I need 300 something for the cellar. Let's fast forward time a little bit. Yeah, so usually with some of these games, it ends up being a big thing. about keeping up with the keeping the sales. Seasonal trending style light ale. We're not going to hire another fermenting cannon. What's this? There were a missionary back in the mid 1700s, 1800s who quote-unquote died and was reborn as a genderless person. They founded their own community, called it the Society of Universal Friends. Gotcha. I feel like I've heard something about that before. Okay, so we sold a bunch more ale for 223 florins. The market of Hopfendorf is now interested in ales brewed with a blonde ale style. Don't do that. I need you to want light ale. Don't change your interests. Your maltiness. We've got tiny Hopfendorf's attention, all right. A smaller market, certainly, but we could fatten their orders, bringing up them a new ale style. Something light, easy to drink, and affordable. A blonde ale, perhaps? You shall unlock blonde ale and more. Create a recipe of at least 2 virtues in the yellow range. Brew 100 of that recipe. Okay, so research a blonde ale. Faster learning experience. Okay, so this would take 10 research. Alright, so I guess we could try the research bent. New recipe. Create new recipe. So I still only have the choice of a light ale. So I don't know how to create a recipe with at least 2 virtues in that rail. Oh, I think it's just telling me to just make a beer. And then that maybe I will unlock that doing that. So I'll make another one of these. We have 2 in there. Keep brewing it. They're born the same year as the US. They got sick and used it as an excuse to change their identity. Yeah, no, I get the idea. Yeah, so it's assuming this says we will unlock that. Oh, it's probably wanting me to create a brand new recipe, which is a little weird because creating a new recipe for this, when I can't really change the recipe. Let's double check the exact verbiage. Create a recipe with at least 2. Oh, it's not better than that. Okay, so new recipe. Select this. Light ale. And you want me to have 2 specifically in the yellow range. So I have to add 1 of each. So right now we're red, and all that. So I can add the pale malt. Another round of the pale malt. A standard yeast. A pale malt. Curse me in getting things good. There we go. So I got 2 in the yellow. All right. It's fine. Our people are getting really upset. Select room. And our newest brew is going to be Kreisks. Well, this one is going to be deliberately in the yellow. Kreisks aggressively mid. I was gonna be like Kreisks aggressively mid reserve. Kreisks regrets. Kreisks regret. That sort of feeling. Did I misspell Kreisk? I think I did. Pretty sure I did. How about that? For the deliberately not good version of this ale that I need to do for the mission, We'll call it Kraisk's Regret. Because it's not a terrible beer, it is a mid beer. It is a beer that you drink and you go, okay, that's fine, I guess. Do you want it to have a different name? It's the thing wants me to deliberately have two of these in the middle. But that's the reason it might be like your regret is that this is the beer you made and you're like, you know what? Could have done better. Could have done better. Confirm. It's like the first beer we brewed where it was like, you know, it is acceptable. It's like, man, that high bar when you like, you know what our leading beer is? We sell acceptable beers in our place. I think they have to finish the recipe. We just queued it up, now they have to actually get it done. And then I have to brew 100 of the recipe. Okay. Alright, so the first objective's done there. Let's go here. And you're already brewing some more. And the whole time it's like, you should build cellars. I'm like, man, I don't got that kind of money. What do you think? Who do you think I am? We will do that for gaining experience faster. Okay, and we will send that to Hoppendorf. Okay, get the next brew going. So that's going to be Kraisk's Regret Light Ale. Which is a relatively high infection chance because of the people there. Man, 172. We need a minute for that to... Okay, there's our sales just came in. Alright, so get the next one going. Then go here. 12% infection chance. Make a full brew. Cool. Ale orders. Hoppendorf is requesting a light ale of a quantity of 40 liters, quality +5, deadline 7 days, advance payment of 42, total payment of 82, potential profit of 20 to 52. Negotiate. Confirm. Congratulations, your offer has been accepted. You shall deliver 40 liters of light ale with a minimum quality of 5. Alright. 40 liters. So we'll want to go ahead and get that sorted. Oh, and that's just basically telling me that I got that. I kind of wish that would stay open so I could see that that bar was lowering. Like, put it over here. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. We've got not a whole lot of research we got to worry about right now. So we're brewing our next one. Yeah, so it definitely feels like ultimately we're going to want more. Oh, I see why we have the infection. I kind of wish I didn't have to manually click these things. I get it, like it's definitely using the strategy that like what's the words? It's definitely oh no. It's definitely using the strategy that Fallout Shelter does for stuff to do. Kraisk's Regret. As a result, you could have done much better, your maltiness, but it could have been worse. Admittedly, that would have been difficult, but still, The Crake's Regret quality has a quality of 0 out of 100. We're sure you'll do better next time. It's statistically impossible not to. Do you know what the guy who made Champagne said when he first shared his creation? I have no idea. Well, you know what? Good enough to sell. And that counted. Style details. Style special, a fair price in spring increased by 20%, a fair price in winter decreased by 20%. Yeah, we found Grog. Yup. We made something. We have discovered a new style, a blonde ale. We can now make recipes with it. And we sold a bunch of ale. Alright, so you want me... What is that? Oh, we can just rebrew our last ale. Yeah, let's not do that. So we're gonna grab that. I'm gonna grab you. And this time we only want to make 40. So we're gonna pay and brew the 40. And that'll fulfill this contract thing. Oh, and we can finally go and actually build our cellar. So people stop whining. Okay. Alright. Light ale for the circus arrival at Hoppendorf. They want 60 liters. I'm just gonna always negotiate this. As the French proverb goes, grasp all, lose all. It seems we tried to haggle too much and the merchant wasn't happy, your maltiness. Maybe next time. That's fine. Okay. You have received 150 florins. Every day we take steps in the right direction, yet our fermentines still seem somewhat preoccupied, and we both understand that for our beers to stay bubbly, our brewers need to be too. With the cellars up and running, why not fill a barrel with brew and give them a full access to it? After all, an empty barrel is a cost that weighs heavily on both the wallet and the soul. That should put a foam stash and a smile on their faces. Cool. So, I hear that, we've got this nice cheap brew. It's called, Crake's Regret. It's perfect for selling among our own people. We're not selling, producing for our own people. Alright, so let's go ahead and try and actually get a brew that's going well. So if I add Groot, so adding Groot increases whatever that first bar is. You increase all bars, and the standard yeast doesn't seem to move anything at all. So I'm going to need to do that. That. Yes, the standard yeast will lower all but the first bar. And the Groot will lower. So I need to put more in there, put more in there. And then use the standard yeast to bring it down. Okay. It's a taste color foam. Oh yeah, so you got flavor, color, strength, and foam. Alright. And it will be fermented by everyone being incredibly upset with everything. Perfect. And this brew is going to be Zerks. Alright, so it's a blonde ale. We need to think of a name for Zerks Blonde Ale, because I think Zerks Blonde Ale would be like the generic if we can't come up with better. Man, it's really hard to come up with something that works with blonde. Hot Blondie? Well, the idea is it's going to be named after Zerks. That's the reason we're doing the drawings, is that each one can, like, that viewers can have their own one. Better than our last one. Well, the whole thing is we're drawing names, and we're going to name them after people, and we're just trying to figure out what we want to go with that. My mind is going because there's always, like, the blonde bombshell is always one, so it'd be, like, Zerk's bombshell. But that feels a bit weird. Yeah, you know, it was, the taglines for your merchants. The Zerk's bombshell? I don't know. I'm a little concerned that, like, after I name it... Zerk's the blondest? The blondest of Zerks? Zerk's a blonde? I might go with that. Zerk's a blonde. We're going with it. It is what it is. A light ale is trending in all markets. That's convenient, because it's one of the only ones I can make right now. Alright, so let's go and check the research. Sanitization reduces ale infection rates by 10%. Yes, please. Okay. So, what we're doing now is I'm fulfilling the contract we have here where we have to give them 40 liters. I'm honestly feeling like we need a second one of these going. So, like, one can be doing the contracts, and everyone can just be shoving ale out. What happened to the Whiskerwood? Just that short of a demo? No, we did a playthrough where we did lose, but being a demo, I just kind of wanted to give it a good once-over and see what we thought. I had a good time with it. Okay, before we do that, this order has been accepted and is awaiting delivery. So the only thing I'm concerned about is if I do this wrong. Because this should satisfy this. Light ale for the seasonal fair in Hoppendorf. They want a light ale of a quantity of 40 liters, of a quality of at least 5, and they gave me an advance payment and a payment on delivery. So my fear is where I hit that button, it's not going to count for it. Inspect, that's our staff. We have the archive, all this. I don't really see... I guess I'll just try selling it, because I don't really understand how this works. Okay. And the only reason, yeah, with all the monks, we have definitely can set up a second brewing station. Yeah, so let's wait for this one to sell. We'll get another brew going, and if we have enough left over, we'll make a second place for making more stuff. Because then I have to eat the costs here to keep our monks happy. Which the assumption then is we would get much higher quality stuff. Okay, new brew. Going to do... So right now the light ale is trending. So let's go for the light ales trending. So you're going to do that. Max brew. And that does leave me enough that we can go over here to the brewery. Only one boiler can be placed in a room. Only one fermenter can be placed in a room. Ah! Interesting. I was not expecting to be so limited. So I guess I will just need another room for brewing. I actually don't even see the option to make a second one. Yeah, and I'm not probably going to make a second lab, because, like, right now... So that didn't seem to satisfy the contract. So I don't think I did this correctly. That's what I'm not understanding, is how I was able to send the order there, because it had to be a light ale, and I made it, and it fit all the criteria, but I didn't see how to actually, like, turn in the contract. Oh, I could, like, rename the rooms and all that. And it could be that we can only have one, so that's all 40 research. So furnishing, we can make some decorations and all that. They're relatively inexpensive. We're gonna snag some of them. Because I'm gonna end up needing those as well. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and get another brew going. Because I'm gonna have to put one of these brews is just gonna get shoved down here and then opened up so our staff can get it. Yeah, well actually, let's see, because I don't believe the actual delivery has arrived yet, so maybe that's part of the factor. Okay, so you brewed that successfully. Alright, so store and cellar. Okay, new brew. And like I said, that's currently in season, so we'll go ahead and get another one of those out. Alright. Mark is drinkable to our staff. You have received 100 florins, 1 satisfaction to all fermentines. Alright, bear with me, chat. I need to quickly use the restroom, so I'm going to do that real quick, and I'll be right back in just a second, and thank you again for tuning in. But I could absolutely put myself in a hurt locker with how much spicy I'm into. Like, one of my favorite flavors is habanero. Like, I think I have genuinely somewhere near like 12 or 14 bottles of different types of habanero hot sauce in the house. I don't have a problem, you have a problem. I can quit anytime.
I haven't tried it yet, so this is strawberries, birthday cake froyo, and almond milk.
What's like the ratios?
A third.
Okay. That's not a liquid. I'm gonna need a spoon. I want to drink it, but that is straight up solid. I will try it, but I'm gonna need equipment. I'm also gonna need to pop the top on this. You saw me go for it though. I went to pour it. I'm like, oh, this isn't moving. Okay. Yeah, we're not doing the Royal Ascent one. You have a 5-inch drill if you need it. I really want to make this work. But you're gonna have to cooperate with me a little bit. Bang it hard. That's my strategy. Oh, did it play the it played the clip where Toon was making like a milkshake thing? I can't remember what it was. We had stuff like frozen yogurt in the freezer or something, and then there was like some soy milk that she had, or was it soy milk? She had some type of like not dairy milk. And just a guy, she's like, "Hey, can I make you something?" I was like, sure. And she's just gonna toss it all in there because it's not like I don't drink actual dairy. We just don't have it in the house because it goes bad too fast. But yeah, she tossed it in there, and it wasn't like it was a little solid. Like it was, you could turn that thing upside down and it would have come out as a block. And it's just the nature of how it was. It was actually pretty good. Yeah, almond milk. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was like 2 types of froyo and like almond milk or whatever. It was actually pretty good. Like you didn't notice the almond milk. It just tasted like ice cream. The monastery is running more smoothly by the day, but those whispers in the corridors persist. Nothing we can't fix. It's about your brews. Comfort, a luxury we could skip. But why not splurge if things can run even better? This is a golden opportunity. Seize it. I've already researched 2 of the things. And all that. Just checking one thing. Gotcha. Alright. I can imagine it tasting like a nice dessert. Yeah, I mean, it was basically ice cream. Okay. Graveyard Keeper is better? I mean, Graveyard Keeper is excellent. Yeah, I'm a little surprised that I can't make a second brewery. Oh, those are prompts that are just still sitting up there from earlier. Yeah, no, Graveyard Keeper is excellent. Like, I had already played through all of Graveyard Keeper, except like one of their way later like DLC update things. And I clearly failed on this. I don't know how to turn these in. I still have time to try and attempt this a second time. Do it again but with all DLC? No, we did that. 2 churches? I haven't seen anything. Like, this is the rooms we could build. And so we've got the dormitory, the refectory, the laboratorium, the cellar. And, like, I haven't unlocked the other rooms, but I don't have the option of the brewery. It could be that just we have to pass a certain point and then we get the option. I was directed a cookie. With all DLC? Yeah, no, I did play through with all the DLC. Like, literally, we exhaustively played everything the game had to offer at the time I played. Okay, and that's 10. Alright, so you want me to put decorations in a bunch of these rooms. Okay, and we will sell that there. Alright. So, double checking. You want a light ale for the seasonal fair at Hoffendorf. 40 liters of at least 5 quality. So we're going to grab you. 40 liters. We can see there. And we're going to get that going. And we'll see if we can't figure out to turn. But regarding the bug, it was apparently a common engineering jargon for faults by the 1870s, but when Harvard Mark II was being built, operators found a moth that short-circuited and taped in glue log, the first actual bug being found. And later Rear Admiral Grace Hopper was working there at the same time and later popularized the story. Gotcha. Okay. So let's see. We needed to get decorations up. So let's put a light in each room right in the center. Put a vase here. A vase there. A vase there. A vase there. A vase there. There. That was enough to satisfy it. Okay, 200 florins, 1 fame, and 1 satisfaction to all fermentines. Your maltiness. You too may have noticed that my recent odd tasks had not been thrust upon you as challenges, but rather as ways and means for you to find your footing. This final task marks the end of our little tactic of mine. Rest assured, you'll see more of me in the future. I'll return with new requests, this time better suited for your growing skills in the current state of the monastery. Whether you choose to take them on will be entirely up to you, though I dare say the rewards might be too tempting to ignore. It'll be a pocket lint and a nickel. A whole nickel. Until then, keep up the excellent work. Alright, so we got all that going. We got our brewskis in the basement. And we already have another thing. Time again, and we've tried to make the monastery follow the standards of interior ornamentation. Alas, our brewers keep pushing that envelope. We must adorn the cloister. More ornamental than functional. Find the best pieces for the task and place them where they'll seem to be admired. Build 5 pieces of furniture with 10 furniture rating or greater. It will reduce the cost of furniture and all that for 5 days. Okay. Yeah, so the flowers and the wall candles. Yeah, so these all already have a 1 rating in that. Do we have someplace else we can put some photos? Or not photos. Paintings. To satisfy all these things. There we go. Cool. So basically we've got a bunch of reduced price for a lot more benefits. Why are you sleeping on the floor? Oh, because she's really, really drunk. She got so drunk she stopped working and passed out on the floor. Cool. Real team player in that one. Well, while we have the discount, let's take advantage of that. So what I could do to help take advantage of that is we can go to our rooms. Actually, let's check our research first. So we get a locker, tunics, socks, and all that, all the same color, all the same size. Decision paralysis must be avoided at all costs. I can get behind this, actually. Pile of books, wall tapestry. Sure, we'll just unlock the next tech. Why not? But what I was going to say is what I can do is while everything's discounted, let's build a second dormitory, because I'm sure I'll need that eventually. Because we're getting it at 25% off. Alright, so our fermenters are genuinely upset. Oh, that's... We're changing the name. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about that. We're naming the beers after people. It feels weird that I can't build a second one. Gonna move that candle up there. So I'm gonna move the spare candles into rooms as we get them. Oh, you know what? There we go. So fame, satisfaction is -1. Number of rooms, max number of rooms at this monastery level. So yeah, so it's not looking like we can open up more. And that's an archive of our beers. Like I said, we're trying to get this one. Oh, you know what I bet? I bet when I was... Okay. So you want a new light ale. So let's negotiate it. Like I said, I'm taking it to... Congratulations, your offer has been accepted. We shall deliver 70 liters of light ale with a minimum quality of 10 to Hoppendorf. For 185. Half of the payment has already been transferred to your treasury, and the remaining half will be paid upon success. I gotta figure out how to deliver those contracts. Like, right now, we're making the rest I need. Okay, so let's pause here. So I can grab you. So I've got this contract here. Oh. I think that did it. Cool. Alright, so the next contract is 70 liters, 10 quality. So new brew, same thing, same people. I need to make 70. Yeah, so basically what we're doing is if we have a contract, we're prioritizing that. Because it kind of guarantees our thing. Hey, look, we're at meh for our morale. 70 liters for a christening? That's a party? Heck yeah, man. We are a monastery who makes sure people are well taken care of. Your christening shall be wonderful. There's gotta be a way to get more stuff assigned. I wish I could see how many of my people are like not busy with stuff and all that. I think people were right earlier when they mentioned just putting down like another research bench. There you go, Crispin. Might as well do something around here. Okay. Just like clockwork, you give the people enough of the lighter stuff and they quickly become begging for something darker. Nothing wrong with that, your maltiness. I believe finding a way to craft an old ale would definitely help in satisfying their new vice. Create a recipe with a flavor in the yellow range and all other values in the green range. And then, you know, produce it. Ah, good. We're going to make an old ale. So, new recipe, create new recipe. And so this one needs to be in the yellow and all the rest green. So you'll bring all that up. There we go. Yep, in the yellow, all the rest green. So next, sure, go for it, I'm not picky. And our new brew, which is probably gonna be a temporary one, is gonna be custard. Custard is massive. And this is gonna be another one of those ones that's probably gonna be really badly rated. So let's make it Custard's Lament. Since this is one that we're deliberately making not for like actual consumption of good, we're just using it to learn a recipe. So how's Custard's Lament sound for you? for a beer that is probably going to be just okay. Or if you got a better name, I'm down for another one. Thumbs up? Cool. That's kind of the funny thing with the naming thing we're doing here, though, because you have, like, the beer where you're actually trying to make a good beer, and then there's the beer where you are satisfying this requirement. And the satisfying the requirement ones are usually solidly not good. I do think it is wonderfully appropriate that, Grace's Regret ended up being my 0 quality beer. Alright, I think realistically we'll probably end up wanting another keg in our cellar. That way we can keep that down there. Alright, we just keep moving ale. Okay, so I finished making the recipe. Now we gotta actually try it. Alright, how are we with research? So you can get a bunch of decorations. For innovation, we may not be locked behind this. Let's, enables automated mesh. Oh! Okay. Sales prophecies. Shared spaces provide bonus rooms of the same type that are side by side. Cask clairvoyance. Displays a profit prediction of every brew based on actual markets. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna be able to get some expansions there. So I think that becomes a higher priority than just decorations. That's interesting. What's that said? Ale traits probability. This modifier applies during the creation of a recipe that permanently increases the trait occurrence probabilities in that rate. In that one. Oh, interesting. Ale quality. This value applies randomly generated result to the ale quality defined by the recipe quality range. It won't allow a recipe to obtain higher quality than the max. Okay. So that's interesting. So we have... Alright, so with that changes my thought process, because then we should go to our recipe room, where we research our recipes, and all that. Is that a pretty wifey?
It's a wifey.
I don't know, you sound like a pretty wifey to me.
And you're a handsome hubby.
Yeah.
And you got Publix something chicken.
Yeah, that's gonna be what I'm gonna snack on later. I had
Nice.
that for lunch as well.
Nice. How was your day?
It was good. I went to the grocery store.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yep.
I love you.
Love you too. Alright, so that'll satisfy the thing there. So we'll have that good. So let's get our new brew here. So I need to make Custard's Lament. And right now you have a nice low chance of infecting it. Oh, and we need to do a full batch, so get that going. Okay, so that'll satisfy that one. We got the next one going. And that'll give us Old Ale. Now, the reality of how you get the Old Ale is you brew the new one, and then you go down in the cellar where there's the one cask that kind of got rolled behind the rack, and then no one wanted to go back there and get it. And you just swap those, and then you bring that one, you just try and sell that one. Meanwhile, while that's going on, we're going to make a new recipe, create new recipe. Oh wait, we haven't unlocked, 1 second. We haven't actually unlocked it. Now that actually has a curiosity that means when I make the recipes and they get traits, I'm gonna want to remake, like where we've got the couple of the recipes we already have. We're gonna keep remaking them to see if we can't get a trait, because I'm assuming those traits are gonna what differentiate something from being like it's just a thing that you'll get like a regular cadence thing and like something genuinely really good or really terrible. I could see a trait that's like it's sour. and just bad things happen. A custard-lead beer must be very dessert tasting. Yeah, I think it'd have problems. Hey, 7 out of 100. Ah, a result could have been better, your maltiness, but it could have been worse. Admittedly, that would have been difficult, but still, Custard's Lament has been seen as a quality 7 out of 100. I'm sure we'll do better next time. So we're gonna store that in the cellar, and something that's terrible enough that people can barely buy it, and that'll be perfect for the staff to eat or to drink in the future. Only the best. Spare no expense. Spare no expense. Wait. Oh no, I have to brew it of 100. Brew 100 of the less. Oh, we have to have a higher quality. Oh, I missed that. I actually have to brew that without it being crap. Okay. That wasn't part of the plan. Alright, so I gotta figure out how to bump the quality on that, regardless of the fact that it's rubbish. Here, have a barrel of hops. That gives me 1 extra quality. I don't think those stack, I'm assuming. I would assume these wouldn't stack. It'd be weird if they did. I mean, they're... Yeah, let's stop there. So, new brew. Yeah, so you can get up to 27. So you only got a 9 out of that. So let's go ahead and try that again with someone else. 100 hay and brew. Wow, staff, you drink your... Yeah. It's basically like you're at the jelly bean factory, and then you have all the flavors that go bad that would, you know, potentially be like a new Bean Boozled flavor. That's what the staff gets. All like the ones that turn out correctly, where it's, you know, strawberry or cherry or watermelon or whatever. Nah, we gotta sell those. We got a business to run. We can't go and use our good product on staff. We got money to make. I am amused by... I do find it funny. So they drink, which makes them happy, and then they drink too much, and then they're like, oh, I'm never gonna drink again. And then they'll just go back to drinking immediately, which is, unfortunately, pretty on the nose, actually. Okay. Need a higher quality. There we go. That's actually sellable. Your maltiness. Let's call Custard Laments 2 decidedly reasonable. Its quality is 26 out of 100, which is acceptable. With a little effort, I can foresee a shiny future. Alright, we need to sell some product. So, go sell that. Okay. So we get +1 permanent layman. I don't know what that means, but sure. So we got Florines and Fame. Alright, so we got more fancy beers to make. The Vault City Brewery in Scotland made a rhubarb and custard flavored beer. You don't think you tried it, but I vaguely recalled hearing about it. I've had some pretty interesting micro brews that have been pretty solid over the years. That, you know, some of them on the outside, like when you hear them, you're like, man, that sounds utterly cursed. Yeah, so that's like literally she can make it max quality. So Randy here is gonna just keep on making that beer. What is the old ale mechanic? We're gonna go see what the research is for it. It's another style of beer we have here. Alright, so for each month spent in the barrel increases by 2. For each month spent in a barrel, 5% non-cumulative chance of getting infected. Oh, okay. So basically, you can store it, and it keeps gaining more and more quality, but it keeps getting higher and higher risk of getting ruined. I see. It's a Gamba beer. Alright. So. The only way to get the third one up is the malt. So I gotta bring the malt up at least that high. There we go. During the season, the ingredients has a reduced price. Gotcha. Okay, so let's grab you. You probably have the best odds of making this well. Alright, so this is our proper old ale. So let's see who this one. A Night Dweller. I imagine a Night Dweller's probably asleep right now. If you are here, like if you got an idea for the name, that'd be amazing. If like I don't think you've spoken in a while. I'm willing to bet you're sleeping. So a name that works with a Night Dweller. We're not gonna have many characters in addition to that. We don't have to do like the full a Night Dweller. It could be just like Night Dweller. It could be like Dweller's Old Ale or something like that. But so it's an old ale. Ultra Ale? Well, it's supposed to be named after a Night Dweller. In some capacity. Midnight Ale? Yeah, we can do Midnight Ale. Sleep Dweller? Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like the Dweller part will stand out, because, like, Midnight Ale is certainly actually a good name for something like this. Like a genuine real-world product. Nightingale? Old Night? We could do like Dweller's Reserve. I know that's not an exciting name, but I think Dweller's Reserve would work for an old ale, because usually when you're referring to something as a reserve, that is an ale you've held back, or like a beverage you've held back. I think Dweller's Reserve. I'd go with it. Alright. Oh, I didn't see. Did that have any traits on it? I didn't even look. Okay. You're complaining that this room is ugly, and it is full of flowers and everything. Okay, so we need to keep that moving. Meanwhile, I got the research going. Yeah, so do any of these others get bonus? Okay, so the bookshelf gives me a higher chance of getting ale traits. The trash bin reduces litter. The archive cabinet increases the maximum cabinet quality. Okay. So, we'll start with this one. We'll get the research for that. So we want the big fancy bookshelf, because that's going to go in here. To give ourselves having the best chance of having a really good result. Yeah, and I missed the recipe if Dweller's Reserve got anything. Oh no, we're still actively researching it. Right. So we haven't seen if we're going to get any type of bonus trade or anything on it. So hopefully that bookshelf applies with what we got going on. We all missed moonshine? I've had moonshine before. I don't miss it. It's fine. It's not, like, it can be good or bad or whatever. But it's not some, like, fabled, amazing beverage. You missed moonshine as name? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't think, like, moonshine I feel like is too far removed that you wouldn't realize it's being associated with the Night Dweller. I feel like we really, like, with a Night Dweller, just using Night feels like it'd be hard to make that stick. Versus just, like, Dweller. Okay. So we brewed it. It doesn't look like it got a special trait, as far as I can tell. It just has, like, the base. Oh, we can actually delete a recipe if I'm unhappy with the recipe. Ah, so we have the recipes here. Right. So I could go through and change that. I actually didn't look to see if any of these got traits or whatever. I also didn't know where those would show up on here. Because there's the style special, which is just the style of beer has its chances of whatever. Alright. We'll go ahead and sell that. Okay, so we check the map. What does it say the trends are right now? The season trending is ale. Next season is going to be blonde ale. Oh, we're actually moving to old ale. It's weird that that's saying... I'm so confused. So we're where on this chart? Because I would think we're here. But then it's saying that light ale is the season's trending. So we could also be here. It's fine. Alright, so they've got Custard's Lament, which for some reason is not selling well. I don't know why. That's reputation, not season up top. Oh, let me double check that. Yeah, seasonal trending is the light ale. Ah, reputation. I see. Okay, so what we need to do is keep making our light ale, because that's what they want. Yeah, so you got... That's interesting. Oh, that's saying there's extra bonuses. Yeah, so we'll keep going, because you literally cook it at the maximum quality. You know your way around the light ale. You know how to make the worst beer you can make. I mean, what? It's actually light ale, I wouldn't say is the worst. I've had some pretty cursed stuff that people have done where they've tried to do exotic stuff with, like, sours. Okay. So this has a chance of increasing the quality of the brews. That makes people happier. We already have the bookshelf. A mug shelf can improve the brewery as well. So go ahead and build one of those. Okay, so I need more money. Because we keep doing the other things, we're not getting money. It's all, like, I am genuinely surprised. What is that portrait? Alright, a batch of Grande Claso Light has been delivered to Hoppendorf. Nice. Bandits stole 4 liters of Grande Claso Light 9 or 11 destined for Hoppendorf. You monsters! Where do we recruit people to go and kill bandits? How dare you steal from holy men and women? All we wanted to do was spread the joy of our brew around the world. Both the good and the bad brew. Okay, so that'll improve the quality of our beer by another point. You're not gonna worry about the wall tapestry. I need to save up the points for going after this. Which will give me stuff like profit prediction and all that. The To the Cellars is an interesting one, because it would imply I could just keep brewing stuff down here, because I'm imagining eventually you just keep stuff going in advance. I'm hoping eventually you'd also be able to, like, queue stuff up here. Because that's my only concern, is the bottleneck that is the brewery. Alright. Ale orders. Old ale for Grand Market in Hopfendorf. So you want 100 liters of 6 or better. We are going to negotiate till it is at high. As high as I can push them and still staying high. Alright, so a 10% surcharge. Yes. Okay, so we need to brew a 6 quality old ale for 100 liters. And then we could just surcharge the crap through it. And we're gaining fame and all that, so that's good news. We can actually hire another person if we wanted. Yes, our upkeep is like 20. Yeah, so it looks like these first 3 bars are the ones we care about. I also don't know with your staff if, like, oh, there's our candidates. Okay, never mind. That answers that question. Yep, that's fine. So we got all our staff. You hope you could barrel old ale until we get 50 quality or so, but it's also good, I guess. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I figure, like, if you're gonna do that, you'd take the risk of, Okay, so this is the light ale, so we just want to sell that, get it out of here. Okay, so now I need to make 100 old ale. Alright, new brew. Dweller's Reserve. You have a +9 on here. We'll have you try and brew this one. And see how it turns out. Someone's having a good time. He's cruising around down there. Okay. We're at 22, and these start at 30 is the cheapest one to get the profit prediction for every brew with the current markets. Which I imagine that's the point where it stopped just being like, what's the most popular all the time? And instead start going, okay, what can I make and save the most money to then sell? Because with the kegs down below, I imagine the idea would be I can store stuff down below when I can make it cheap to then sell what it's worth more. Alright, Bandit stole a little bit more beer off of us. I'm getting deeply annoyed by that. Okay, so next one is at 40. Okay, so when we make our next brew, it should be able to be like, hey, this is what it's going to actually... Like, here's your profits, not your revenue. Here's what your expected profit. So one thing that does make me curious is if I go to send this to satisfy the contract and we get robbed, do we fail the contract? Okay. Hey, 34 quality. It's an ale of considerable merit. Alright, so satisfy contract. And I guess another thing we can do in the meantime. Go to a laboratory. Oh, I can only build 2 of them. Okay, so I can't expand that. That's fair. Your maltiness, your flock grows wary of weak beers. Have your fermentines brew up 100 liters of an ale that reaches a higher quality. Then allow them to taste such excellence so their joy can echo through the halls. Ferment a drink of 100 liters ale that's 28 quality or greater. If we do it, we'll gain fame, we'll gain satisfaction, and a reduced monthly upkeep for 30 days. Okay. So basically I'm giving up a brew for a significant amount of money. In the meantime, let's pop down here to our cellar. Alright, so you want a blonde ale of 12 quality or higher, and you want 70 of it. Okay. And as always, I'm gonna fight to try... Yes, jack up that price. Alright, so new brew. Blonde ale. Yeah, so Zerx was a good one. I think it's the first time we've actually made the Zerx ale. So you have a +9 right now, so we'll do the +9 on you. And you want 70 of the blonde, so let's make 70 of the blonde ale. And get that brewing. Okay. So then we'll need to do the actual thing, because we gained fame for completing those objectives. Now, the catch I'm running into is... I guess I could make another lab, but that feels like that wouldn't be that useful to, like, make a whole extra room just for 2 more research benches, and just continuing to escalate it. These are rooms to sleep in. That's going to be hard determined by how many people I need working. I've already got that fully covered. What's this? Vagaria New Pope Episode 4. Duration, 3 months. Your maltiness. The time has come again for the Conclave to choose who will answer to the highest of the Call of Cloth. And while not directly affected by the results of this process, we are expected to contribute to it. Be it florins or ale, the Vatican expects a tribute to lighten the burden weighing on their spirit and coffers. Choose whichever you believe is best. Don't falter. These things have a way of coming back around you. Finance with ale. Pay a monthly tribute in ale equal to 20% of last month's production. If you do, you'll receive fame, increased quality of brewed ales, and reduced monthly upkeep for 30 days based on the quality of ale donated. If you fail, 100% increased monthly upkeep for 30 days, no fame can be earned for 30 days. Let's say, regarding hops, since the purity law prevented Bavarian and most German brewers to use anything else for flavoring for domestic beer, they bred hops to taste like raspberry, banana, lavender, and so on. It's far from the real thing, of course, but all that beer has been irrelevant in international beer contests. Majority of brewers would wait want to change it. But you talked about staunch beer enjoyers, in particular from Bavaria. It's like talking to an irritable wall. Yeah. Finance with Florin. Automatically pay a tithe of 20% of all income from ale orders. Ale sales until the end of the event. If you do, the 30% sales quantity in all markets, new candidates will have better than usual stats. Okay, so basically my choices are I can give up a bunch of my beer, or I could give up a bunch of my ale, that I have to pay a monthly tribute, And as long as I do, I get more quality and fame. But if I fail at any point, it's going to jack up my costs incredibly for 30 days. Now, I could also just have it lower effort where it just takes a cut of my pay, which it's revenue, not profit. It takes a cut of my revenue. But if I do that, there's no fail condition, because they're just going to take the money anyways. But I do sell 30% more. So I would have to sell 30% more at a 20% less profit rate. So it's cutting into my margins. That's still probably ultimately going to be more hurt, even though 30% increased sales is more. I am going to have a increase in my expenses to make that. And then I'm not really worried about that. I'm going to take my chances with the brewing thing. So I need to pay a monthly tribute in ale equal to 20% of the previous month's production. Alright, is there an easy way... Is there an easy way to track that? Commercial license for Malsdorf. Okay, let's see. So, we can get a commercial license for Malsdorf for light ale and blonde ale. I'm gonna grab the light ale one. Ah, your maltiness. I've been eager to meet you. The tales of your blessed ales have traveled far, but like St. Thomas, I must taste to believe. I handle the sale licenses of settlements under my care, and while I'm not greedy, I do believe ale is the noblest currency for a favor exchange. I understand. Alright, so... Okay. What I don't know is how... You have delivered 114... 0 to 114 required this month. Alright. So basically, we're going to have a little bit of a headache here where I need to send beer there, I need to send beer here, I need to send beer to everyone to satisfy their various garbage. We're going to be sending some beer. Alright. Brew an infected ale. Zerk's Blonde. Okay. So, its strength got dropped to 0. Its foam got dropped to 0. Its color got way off, and the flavor's okay. So it tastes fine. But otherwise is awful. So it is infected. The infection lowers the quality by 20, will randomly change the virtues, but might also provide some bonus traits. It is sour, so it has half the shelf life, plus 5 to flavor, and a new impact sales of plus or minus 30% per week. Meditation ale, plus 25 weekly sales in autumn and winter. This ale can't serve ale orders. Crap. Cool. Hey. Buddy. Get that off the shelves real fast. So we're gonna have to try again on the blonde. The new blonde. You're good. 70 was what that contract required. Get it out of here. I've gotta find a way to get more brewing. Like that's the concern I have right now is I've got just the one barrel and it is a very hard bottleneck. But I can make staircases, I can make dormitories, refectory, laboratoriums, cellars. The store of Grande Claso Light 7 expired and went stale in the barrels. We had to flush it away. You monsters, how could you waste the beer? Are we getting our reputation ruined because our skill isn't good enough? So we actually didn't lose our reputation. Our reputation's going fine. Granted, I did just sell infected beer, and the beer is pretty terrible. I probably should have actually had them have it right here. I thought you could make another barrel? I didn't see the option to. Yeah, because, like, literally, I don't get the choice for making furniture for the brewery. Like, you can't make the brewery. And then for this, only one may be placed in a room. So that's I'm not sure what to do with. I'm only allowed to put one barrel and one of this in a room, and it won't let me build a second room. And my expectation... Alright, negotiate? I'm not gonna care what it says until we get a deal going. There's a max time beer could be in a barrel. You wonder what it is so a barrel of old ale perfectly get best quality? I have no idea. I didn't think about that part. I wonder if it tells you. Show ale details. Yeah, so the shelf life, it's got 23 days more shelf life. The problem is I need to get beer for the Pope. Okay, so satisfy that one. And you want a light ale. You want 50 light ale. Okay, so that's 50. So we need the 50 light ale to do that, and then I gotta work on the Pope's thing, because I gotta get 100 plus liters of beer to the Pope. And I also need to make a beer for my own people. That's actually of decent quality. I'm hoping there's an automatic cleanup thing we get research-wise. How is our research? Our research is getting right about to 40. Display sales prediction. Provides bonus when rooms of the same type are side by side. Oh, here. Increase the monastery's available layman by that. Increase the shelf life of every ale you brew by 1 month. Building time. Reduce the time needed to construct new rooms. That's utterly irrelevant. Everything ale. Unlock 2 more research to gain access to this group. Yeah, so let's not worry about that yet. Yeah, so once we hit 40, we'll just keep upgrading a bunch of those things. New candidates available for hire. We got paid, we made money. Bandit boss. Greetings, your robed friend. I come representing a group of low-profile individuals. You could say we're purveyor of services for both borough and suburb. We witnessed your arrival and, as luck would have it, know what you've been brewing. We could guarantee the safe passage of supplies of ale moving back and forth between nearby towns. For a small donation of coin, that is. Coin or ale, what do you say? Understood. Okay. Your current standing of the bandits are neutral. There is no effect. So I could start to give them ale and potentially get them to back off. How much, if I gave them 100 florin, how much would that make you go away? Oh, your current standings with the bandits is good. The bandits have temporarily loaned you 2 extra laymen. Okay, that was... Sure, I think that's actually worth 100. They're just like, yeah, we're gonna stop robbing you, and we're gonna actually give you staff. Yeah, so I get this. So the idea here is this will gradually go down And, like, as long as it's here, we get benefit. If it's here, it's probably neither here nor there, the occasional robbery. And then down here, they probably become a big pain in the butt. Alright. Alright, so we need a blonde ale here, so without any considerations of how good it is, we're gonna slam that up there. Cool. I think it's worth me risking each time to, like, bump that up. The good news, there's no time limit on those as far as I can tell. Alright. So we're gonna need to get... Pretty soon I gotta... Alright, we're gonna finish this one, then I'm gonna prioritize getting the stuff for the Pope, then we're gonna go back to this. Yeah, so you can see it's starting to deplete again. So this is effectively your rent. Oh, and now we've got, like... Yeah, we've got the merchant from that one, we've got the Pope guy. Yeah, so I got people standing out front for all the different stuff. I do appreciate that they have, like, the graphics of the various people running around down here. Please stop laying drunk on the floor. I really need you to finish the brewing. Okay, so finish the contract. Alright, and go here, new brew, light ale, max that sucker out, get it out of here. Because I need to satisfy the Pope's thing, because remember, if I fall behind on the Pope's thing, I take a 100% upkeep penalty. If we succeed with it, we get a bonus to our fame and reputation and all that kind of stuff. Or no, it's fame and quality. And I just noticed our research is getting to be a good place. So we can get shared spaces, so rooms that are the same get a bonus. I don't have much of that. Enables automatically storing fresh brews. Let's get that going. Okay. Allows the bribery of bandits with ale instead of florins. The standings will decrease more slowly. Custodial closet. Between a broom and a box of candles, this is where custodians have their rare breaks. Before heading out to make your monastery work. Allows the hire of custodians. You may have up to 2 custodians. So, yeah, my assumption is the custodians would just clean stuff up and I don't have to manually do it. Learn how to treat aromatic herbs using your brewing process. Brewery. This is where the magic happens. The brewery... Oh, we definitely... Okay, so that's 170 research. Alright. Okay, so with that, I am going to not be stubborn. Let's go... I can't build a second laboratorium, so never mind. I was going to say, let me build a second laboratorium so we can get more researchers going, but apparently that's not allowed. So I got to get 170 research, and that's what's going to let me have multiple brews going at the same time. Even if it's only one more brewery room, like the ability to keep the brews going in a rotation is going to go a long way. Okay, so we got paid for that. We're making the... Oh man, we're going to be cutting this close. Yeah, because it's for the month. So I gotta finish this brew. Can you build more benches in the lab? No, it only lets me put 2 there. Okay, so I need to get the, I need to get the beer going to the Pope. And we've been moving a lot of beer this month, which means the next month I'll probably have far more to move. But yeah, no, unlocking the custodians, that'd be a good one, because just having a custodian to run around and clean, so I don't have to manually click on the thing every so often would be nice. I'm pushing that real hard. Okay, so you. New brew, more light. You. I don't need the full batch. I'm going to go a little over what we needed. Oh, if it's only 37. Hey, Pope. That's a profit prediction. Hey, and brew real fast. Let's try and get this out of here so I can satisfy this. Because like I said, the penalty for failing this is for a full month or upkeep doubles. So I don't really know. Yeah, because watching this gauge on the top thing in Ezra time, then I noticed this one is the one filling up. I was like, oh, I'm in way worse shape than I thought I was. And even this is starting to make me go, alright, I need to get on this before it gets out of hand. Yeah, so our decoration's not enough to keep everyone happy. So we can go here real fast. There we go. I'm sure I'll end up getting rid of a bunch of these flowers in time. Yeah, so that pushed us up to 50%, so it's no longer penalizing our satisfaction. Okay. New brew. Alright, so. We need a blonde ale, and need 50 liters of it. Let's get the blonde ale. Do this. It was 50 I need. Ah, right, so there's pay and brew and store. So I need to watch that in the future. Cool. Oh, I still have some left. Okay. Sure. Sell what's left there, that's fine. Okay, so, like, literally if I make extra, I get to keep all but the minimum. It only makes me send the required amount. Cool. In that case, in the future, I will make a full batch. Alright, so that'll take care of that blonde ale. Then I'm gonna need to make the ale for opening up the new market. And looking at this, I'm currently selling no beer anywhere because I keep getting contracts to fill and I can't make the beer fast enough to keep it on the shelf. Good problems to have. Sorry. That was louder than I thought it would be. Definitely a good problem to be like, literally I'm moving my merchandise as aggressively as possible and still having all that. Alright, so negotiate. I'm not going to pay attention to what they want. Confirm. Cool. Okay, so we delivered some light ale for sale. And you're working on the next brew there. Yeah, so the brewery... Oh, no, it's 170. I'm gonna try to hold out for the brewery, I think. That's a bit of a wait. But I do think I'd like to hold out for the brewery. That's cool, so I can just move the... Oh, no, that was the... A furniture in the room is in use and cannot be moved. Yeah, so at night I could probably move the laboratorium over here and then make this into another brewery later. Yeah, because we get the 170 there where we can up our production. That's the current bottleneck. Okay. Zerk's Blonde 3. Infected. It moved everything to the yellow quality, and it gave it a boost in autumn and winter sales. We are currently in summer. This ale cannot be used for contracts, so we're going to store that in the cellar. gonna do a new brew here. So blonde ale, 50 liters. So do this. Do this. Brew and store. I wonder if I just go. Let's just go for the max. Pay brew and store, and see if I go for the max. If it'll work the same way, where I can dedicate half of it to satisfy the shipment and sell the rest. Okay, so we only give the best to our staff. So we're gonna go ahead and get our infected beer, and we're just gonna go ahead and sell that to our or not sell, but we're gonna go ahead and make that available to our staff to drink. Because in this game, apparently infected just makes it less desirable and not, you know, potentially extremely hazardous to your health. You don't have to worry about something like botulism or something like that. Oh, there is... Wait, was that actually still a high enough quality to count towards this? So our infected beer... No, that shouldn't count. That's only a 10. Huh. I missed what it said about the blonde ale going by. Okay, so we had our beer get dodgy. There was something went past. Oh, it was probably telling us that we did satisfy the Pope's thing. We're selling shockingly little beer because we're just doing contracts the whole time. Okay. Oh, let's see if I can move that room real fast before everyone goes in here. Nah, I can't. I'm assuming I have to unassign them from it and move it. Because supposedly we'll get bonuses once we get that one research for sharing rooms. Okay, so let's see. Oh, they're automatically take it downstairs. I need to stop doing that instinctively. New brew. Okay, so the next one you need is an old ale for the Grand Market. So just go to the old ale. You were able to make it 35 and 37 is the best we can. I think we're just going to keep going with you then. Slam that sucker up, make it. Okay, so sell. So we can satisfy that contract and take the extra and send it to the Pope. Okay. Oh, you need to be cleaned. Work all day, no play. It's fine. So we've delivered half of the requirement for this month. Okay, and we have delivered the remainder over there. That satisfied that. We're making the old ale to satisfy the next thing. Like, opening up a new market, I'm kind of not even worried about it because we're trying to move the ale as fast as we can, and I can't really do much with a new market anywhere. Okay, so new brew. Let's get a light. And we will make a max quantity of it. Start brewing. So sell the ale. Satisfy this contract. Satisfy this contract. And sell the rest. So we got the Pope to be happy. We got that contract to be happy. So we're all settled with all that. So now we just have to worry about this guy. Okay, so I'm going to try something here. Remove researcher. Remove researcher. Can I move the room now? Yes. Can I plunk it here? No, I have to actually build the space. Alright, so if I go build rooms, I don't think I can make like an empty space or whatever like that. So I think what end up happening is we keep you assigned. So you have 3. And you have 2. Okay. So yeah, what we could do here is I can build the brewery later and then swap them. But I need 170 research and we're at 85. So it is just slowly climbing along. I think it was 170. Let's double check that. Pretty sure it's 170. 170, yeah. So I think that one's like well worth going out of my way for, because just being able to churn out the beer faster means more sales. And it means as these contracts keep popping up one after the other. I can satisfy those. Alright, well that means that old ale will supersede this. New hires. All that. The thing is I don't have any value for new hires, because I could have them just making recipes to make recipes. But I don't see much value in doing that right this second. At least I don't think so. Whereas I can only have the 1 person brewing right now and the 2 research benches. So I'm kind of hard capped on the people I can put to use at any given time. You know what? The reason she's probably saying, you know, all work and no play is because I keep having like the 1 or 2 same people brewing and researching at all hours of day and night. Oh, have we hit the point where these candles need to be replaced? Oh, I have to actually click on the candles themselves. I really don't like that, actually. Okay. So we'll need to make another old ale. We can make recipes and all that? Yeah. Well, the thing is, you know what we could do? Is instead of automatically naming something... Well, no, don't I have to name it before I know the results? Let's see the order. Okay. So I've got you. I can add that. So you'll raise all those. So the only one that can raise the second bar is this one. So I have to hit that at least enough to get it to green. Then we hit the standard malt, that'll bring it back into tolerance, and we're good. Is that how we get new traits? I can't remember if it's the, like, where the traits happen. Alright, so we got that. So it's on the greens. You both have a +4. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so unfortunately I have to name it here. That's the only catch. I'm not sure if we can rename it later. We'll name this one. And then if we can rename stuff later, what I'll do is I'll wait until we have a finished beer to rename them. Alright. We have Psychotic. Psychotically blonde. Alright. Sure. So let's take a quick peek at our archives. Can I go in here and rename it later? Yes, I can. Okay. So what we'll start doing now, instead of naming it where I have named it, I'm going to wait till we're at the other side of things, and we will name it, like, because I doubt I'm going to keep, like, very genuinely, I'm not going to be making Custard's Lament or Kraisk's Regret anymore, because they were ones I had to do for a quest, and they're crap beers. Like, I'm going to... It's one of those ones that, can I, like, hide you? I guess it's just... I guess it's either delete it. People said, yeah. That's the thing, like, I want to keep the names there, but I'm not going to make those again. Rhubarb cake was traditionally a big summer thing here. You like the most with vanilla ice cream. I guess that's a similar idea, but you haven't heard of rhubarb cake in ages. Yeah, no, there's, in Florida, people do stuff with rhubarb, but we also do stuff with, like, collards and a whole bunch of other things. I can get behind some rhubarb. Oh, okay. So if I delete the recipe, it doesn't actually vanish. It just pulls it off here. So I can hit here. And I can go deleted recipe. And it still lists it historically. Alright, I appreciate that. I was worried that when we deleted, it was just going to be gone. Yeah, so then I'm going to only keep, like, one of whatever the best one is. You know, and I'm sure at some point I'll end up having, like, one beer that's got a whole thing there. Oh, what's going on here? I don't remember what you're about. What is your deal? So we made a grande queso. Deliver an order in full to obtain the license. So you are a light ale of 33 quality. Oh, you want a light ale with Groot? I see. Okay, well in that case, let's make this available to the staff, because they want us to give the good stuff. So I need to make a light ale that also has Groot in it. So light ale, do this, but it says it doesn't belong in here. Oh, I have an additional research I need. I understand. Yeah, I remember. There was a research down in here that was something like you could put, yeah, creative pairings. You could add ingredients that don't really belong in a specific one. And so that's what's blocking these. They want me to make a light ale that's using an unusual pairing and a blonde ale that's using an unusual pairing. I see. And in this way, we're giving ourselves this, because we still have the objective of making sure my people get, like, the nice ale. And then we're going to keep making the old ales to satisfy this. I also didn't see with the, with that new recipe I made, whatever happened to it. Yeah, so we've got Xerxes Blonde. Okay. So yeah, so the Psychotic Blonde did come out as a higher quality than Xerxes Blonde. So that does mean we're going to stop producing Xerxes Blonde, because they didn't have any special traits, so this is just the objectively better version. So let's go ahead and knock that out. What was that? What was tinging? Oh, right, it's telling me that the beer finished. So for this, right now we're just going to keep moving. Let's just give it a moment. Okay, so do this, sell that, satisfy that. Cool, so that'll be the contract done. So at this point, new brew. Let's make the... Alright, so what I need to do is we can check here. So, new brew. So the Psychotically Blonde has the highest profit likelihood. So you've got a plus 10 chance, or plus 10 quality. So brew that and store. We need to go through here and clean all the rooms again. Okay, we're getting pretty close to, what's up? I don't think I've ever had rhubarb cakes, but since our rhubarb plant is growing, you guys might as well go try it. Yeah. I mean, you can probably guess exactly what rhubarb cake tastes like. It's not one that surprises you. Okay, we've already fulfilled our stuff here. Okay. When you were a child, your next door neighbor used to make rhubarb pie from the rhubarb she grew in her backyard. Sadly, since she was an old woman, she passed away something like 15 years ago. The neighbors got rid of the rhubarb since it's considered toxic to dogs, and they love dogs. Yeah, there's always those things about keeping pets. There's just certain things that pets either can't have or don't like or whatever. Yeah, so building time and all that. So the shelf life would be another good one. Obviously, we're going to need a lot more research. Then we also have these ones. So that makes our people happier. That gives a chance of better quality and a better chance of max quality. That reduces the amount of junk going on there. Yeah, so it looks like what we want to do is keep researching this stuff. And end up not being needed in every room. So we're going to clear that out. I'm going to move you over here. Move you here. So I got room for more stuff. Because I'm wondering with the brewery, it could be that I get to put more of this stuff in here. It could be an extra brewery room. I can see it going either way. Let's see, where the magic happens, the brewery gives you can only have one brewery and one ferment. Okay. So it is an extra room. So like I said, I'll end up putting the room there and then moving it here. And we're going to start backtracking, just filling in our research. But with that, I should be able to ping pong back and forth to get ahead of some of these contracts and start actually selling beer. Just normal sales. Okay, what's it saying for the trending now? Blonde ales are trending. Oh, I get it. So we complete the objectives here, and when we complete all these objectives, we move on to whatever the next thing is. So effectively, this is your story limit through reputation, and then this is just what's currently going on so far as like what's selling and all that. Okay, so new brew. We'll go ahead and make another Grande Queso. Just keep it on rolling. Oh, I should have made that a blonde. That's fine. I didn't check the prices. Okay, so sell ale. That's fine. We'll sell that. And create a new recipe. So right now, let's try making another blonde ale. The same thing. You're the only one who brings that up, so I have to go to at least that's in green. And that'll balance that out. Next. And as I mentioned before, what I think we're going to do is for right now, I'm going to give it a temporary name. And if the result is better than what we've already got, then we will name the beer after someone. That way it's not name a beer, oh, it was bad, get rid of it again. I hope it's not one of those things where, like, when I name the beers, I can't reuse the names. I hope it's not one of those. Because, as you can see, I named it Temp, which is literally like, hey, I'm going to throw this name away. It could also be that maybe you can go into the archives of your deleted ones. I was going to see if you could, like, forever delete a beer. Okay. So 5 to 37. I think that's better than what we were making. I also just realized... Oh no, that's literally the same as the Psychotic. I was gonna say, I just realized we just made a new one. So temp is gone. Alright, so if we look at this, let's try making another blonde. Or not, sorry, not blonde. Another light beer. So let's go grab the light, do this, grab these two. I have to bring you up to green. And that puts us in the green. You're +3. And let's see if I can reuse names. Cool. And like I said, if it ends up being better, which it probably will, we'll roll the thing to name the beer after someone. Okay, so we delivered the beer. One more research point. And then we will be good. Alright, second brewery is finally unlocked. So build. 750. Okay, brewery is not cheap, which is not super shocking. And then, like I said, we want to switch these positions because later on we'll get a bonus for having similar rooms next to each other. It's going to take some work to get that going. Are we going to lock another town? Well, the thing is I have another research going. +2 to final ale quality. Ah, because we just finished this month, whatever. Okay, so we've got light ale. Cool. Okay, so you want a light ale. Let's go ahead and queue that up. Oh, I think I missed that we had the results. Okay, so the temp light ale is ever so teeny tiny, little itty bitty 1 point better than the Grande Claso. So the Grande Claso is getting retired. Let's go to temp. Let's rename it. So our brand new light ale is going to be Sentient Cookie. So it definitely feels like... So this is a light ale, so it's going to basically have, like, no flavor to it. You know, it is water with, like, the hint of hops nearby it. Someone mentioned the word hops in its presence once, and that's about what flavor you're getting out of it. Because it is a light beer. Cookie light. Just diet cookie, which sounds like the most cursed thing. Just getting diet cookies, which feels like you've missed the point of a cookie. Cookie's disappointment. If it fits, we'll put it. Cookie's disappointment. You imagine diet cookies taste like cardboard? I imagine that's in the cookie aisle. Oh. Oh, I can't make it cookies disappointment. It's gonna be cookie disappointment. Because I can't fit the whole thing. Alright. So that is a new brew of Cookie Disappointment Light Ale. And we have a plus 11 here. It's like eating sadness. You've had them, and they do. Yeah, and I've had some healthy cookies before, and I've had some that were alright, and I've definitely had some that were pretty upsetting. Okay, so that room's done. So what's gonna happen is when it hits nighttime, we're gonna unassign these rooms here. I also just realized, sell, fulfill the contract. Send the extra 10 over to the Pope. Because the Pope demands beer. It's just what popes do. Okay. So you are good for how much longer? So you're still about halfway through your shelf life. Gotcha. So different types of ale have significantly different shelf life. Because one of the things we talked about doing is potentially taking an old ale, because the old ale gains fame, like quality or whatever, the longer it's aged. But as a higher, like every, every increment, it also has a chance of becoming infected and ruined. Pies and cakes old guy's been making for almost 50 years are always almost awesome. Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and bring that downstairs. Alright, so let's actually be smart about this. So new brew, 17, 20, 16. So this is the one that, so Psychatic's gonna be the one that gives me the best odds of a good result. That actually was pretty crap result in Valentine's. We're gonna have Randy take this one and see if you can get a better result. So you send the entire batch to the Pope, which was probably a mistake in hindsight because they do actually need money coming in. Larger transport team, creative pairing. So creative pairing is a blocker right now, so you probably want to get that. Okay, that does mean we're gonna have to get the next thing going there. We got a tiny bit more stuff there. Okay. Oh, wait, before I forget. Remove researcher, and swap the room. There we go. That'll take a moment for them to swap. And then once it's swapped, I get them reassigned in the research. In the meantime, we've got more research available here. So new. So you want a light ale that has Groot in it. So create now. Select style, light ale. Next. So it needs these and Groot. Then you take that up till it's at least in the green zone. So that only goes up. Okay, I don't think we can actually make that reasonably balanced. I think literally I'm gonna have to... Because if I add any more pale, it's gonna boost that too high. And I don't really have anything that brings... So standard yeast brings that down, but it brings the flavor up. This brings the flavor up, and that brings the flavor up. And the brown malt really brings the flavor up. So I can't avoid the pale malt. That is the only thing that brings this one up. Oh no, brown malt does. But that boosts the flavor even more, and that's my pain point. If we hit it again, it pushes that into red. I assume red just means they won't deal with it. And that brings it down. I think we're just going to have to try and go with that. So your requirements, it only needs to be a quality 10. So basically, the merchant wants something that's cursed. And so again, I'm going to give it a temp for the name. We'll let that go. We'll get it for the merchant. And then, you know, if the merchant's happy, we'll probably never make it again. Is taste requirement 2? Yeah, well, flavor 3. We should be good on that. I'm pretty sure we got over flavor 3 on it. We can check. If it's not good enough, we just delete it and try again. It's got a flavor level 3. A strength he has in the other one. Oh, you believe it needs to be exactly 3? That would be... Oh, no, you guess you're right, because it doesn't... It says, like, plus or whatever. Yeah, okay, that's going to be... This merchant has terrible taste. Okay, so assign researcher. 3. Okay. Assign researcher. 2. Okay. Between 3 and 4 counts as 3. Gotcha. Alright. Oh, well, the taste happens to be exactly 3. It's fine. Alright, so temp. You're plus 11. No, let's not take a loan. We'll wait. We weren't able to pay our whole monthly upkeep. We have been granted a loan. The money has been deducted from there. Brew and sell more if your economy is in crisis. So let's sell the ale. So we'll send the last 10 liters we need to the Pope. And sell that. Yeah, no, it's because we dipped under here. We're also going to go here. And we're going to sell that garbage. And get that out as well. We need to clean up our rooms. And that's just because I built the new brewery and it pushed it there. Okay. So with that new brew... We're gonna make this mistake. Gotta pay and store it. All right. How's it actually look in the ledger? Is it just a bunch of things that say temp? Oh, no, good. Alright, so it appears each time I'm taking ones that I'm using the same name, it is just erased, like it's just overwriting them again. So I can actually get behind that in a big way, because what that let me do is then again, for ones I don't care about, I can just keep deleting them again and again, and then we can just keep the, we can keep the record of the ones that got named after people. Let's keep just the one on tap here to keep our staff drinking. pretty soon I'm going to need to do something to mollify the bandits. Alright, so we got more beer over there. Alright, so I need a blonde with malt and strength of 3. So new recipe, select blonde. Next, it must have brown malt. Okay. So the pale malt is the only way to get that up. So I have to get it to there. And everything else brings it up. So we're going to have another not so amazing beer. Think that'll work. And +4. So it's curious because we did rename that once. This is making thing. The licensed recipes don't need to be perfect anyways. Well, yeah, because it's already a scuff recipe. So it definitely feels like the scuff recipe, the idea is you accomplish the goal. It's like when we were unlocking the old ale, you deliberately had to make a sabotage recipe to, you know, meet the requirements. But it's not gonna be good. Just getting here. How's the game so far? You thought about buying it. It's pretty good. So it plays a lot like Fallout Shelter, except instead of people, you know, sending people out into the wilderness to make them like fight enemies to bring stuff back, you're running a monastery and you're shipping out food. So there's no like going in there like fighting stuff. Like that whole thing is just sending out your brew. Yeah, so right now I'm just working through the research. We're just going down the tree and taking whatever pops up. We're not focusing on much. Which means I'm gonna get a lot of decor. Yeah, the archive cabinet's one we probably should go out of our way to get as well. Alright. But the big question is with that loan we kind of got forced on us. I don't really know how we pay it back. I don't see a finance button. We can set up another brewery to help pay the loan. Right, my only fear is setting up the next brewery is going to probably cost us a decent amount. We'll check in a moment. So there's the blonde. So we need to do 100 of that. So get you making the blonde. Oh, third tab from the bottom. So repaying the loan. Where does it say the loan amount? So we have a loan for 800. Okay, so we get to the point where we start getting over 800. We'll do that. All right, so sell. That satisfies that. If I were to build a thing for more, if we were to go and push our luck, the brewery, so 200, I mean, it's 400, basically it'd wipe out our money. So if I did build it, it wouldn't do us any good because then I wouldn't be able to make my next beer. The towns actually stop offering good prices for beer if you overflow the market. Gotcha. I mean, right now I'm hardly getting the beer out to the towns to sell them normally. I'm playing catch up on contracts. Yeah, so making more beer is not always the option. Yeah, no, I haven't been actually selling much in the way of beers directly to the market. Okay, so that actually gave me a good chunk of change. Let's do it. Oh, let's, yeah, because we'll probably get a good payout from those when they're turned in. We could go ahead and do this. Get the archive cabinet. So let's grab the archive cabinet real quick. I'm looking at the wrong room. Okay, so we finished some ale orders. Alright. So negotiate this, and like I said, I've been going for just trying to get high on all those. Alright. So with that, I can immediately turn around and go to the loan and repay the loan. Cool, and then I got some extra money to spare. That's why we should age some old ale to lower market saturation. I'm not against aging the old ale, it's just I'm brewing as fast as I can and struggling to keep up with the things at once. Okay, so you want an old ale, a new brew, old ale, and you got the 36 out of the 37 possible. Honestly, that's fine by me. So, that'll take care of your contract. You like the aging mechanic of the old ale? Yeah, no, it's the gamble. How long do you sit on it before you sell it? If you sit on it too long, it rots. And you lose, you lose out on the whole thing. To be fair, you get infected, and the infection massively penalizes the quality, but does give it some weird traits that may or may not have benefits. I'm imagining most of the time, the 20 quality penalty is probably more harm than good. There's no penalty if the town doesn't have any beer, if that's the worry. You tried keeping them always supplied with beer, but that's actually a bad thing. Oh yeah, no, the whole thing is you get money from selling beer. If you're not selling beer, you're not getting money. So you gotta keep the prog. You always get infected beneficially. Well, you always take the 20 quality hit. So you gotta have some pretty solid infection traits to overcome the 20 quality hit. And be careful of feeding me too much information about the mechanics. Part of the fun is discovery and all that. Those are those things that you can kind of get yourself caught. Alright, so we got ourselves now 2 markets I can sell to. Yeah, so they only have a little bit of beer on shelf. And then we got our payout. Congratulations, your maltiness. Your majestic ales clearly deserve the right to be sold in the settlement of Malsdorf. We will be looking for your help to alleviate the lives of our hardworking citizens. Hush now. The citizens are thirsty. A hamlet mostly famous thanks to George, the burgomaster, who is 97 years old but can still drink up to 7 liters of ale a day. Population, predominantly sheep. Cool. Alright. That's fine. It's gonna take a minute for them to move it. Right. So I've got a little bit of extra money. We have the hops plants. That just makes people happy. So we got the trash cans. Let's grab those things and start putting those in rooms that are getting messy constantly. Good, because you're nice. You're nice and inexpensive. So there's a room for a trash can. And there's room for a trash can. And there's room for a trash can. Put a trash can in here. Put a trash can over there. I honestly don't remember the bedrooms get... Oh, I don't think the bedroom actually did get trash in it, did it? Yeah, it's fine, whatever. Okay, so I have to cut back on how much I have to clean all those rooms. Okay, so you can go here, sell, fulfill that contract. And I'll take the extra, and we will just sell it as is. Alright, so new brew. Alright, well first actually, let's go to our archive. These ones are just ones I did to satisfy that merchant. They're garbage, so we're not going to drink them. We're not going to make more of them. So you'll take 17 for either one. And right now, this one's the one that's turning the highest profit, so we're just going to keep on brewing. Did you update the old ale recipe? I did a little while back. I probably want to do it again. Vigary the New Pope, Episode 4. Well done, the order adapted, endure and rose the occasion. Let this be a testament to what we can accomplish through sheer will and frothy ale. Even the harshest trials can be turned into triumph. Okay, so we no longer have to worry about dumping like 20% of our entire stuff over there. Yes, let's go ahead and we can do the old ale. Might be. Okay, you sleep well. I love you more. Okay. So just like before... Oh, actually, the brown malt boosts the... Okay, in this one, the only things that I can get my right 2 bars up is the pale malt. So it has to go up 2 ticks. And if I hit it with 1 more brown malt, right in the sweet spot. And you have a +4. And we'll see what we get out of it. Alright. I'm also going to need to take a round of beer to put down below soon. Because that's about to run out. But I don't want to do that yet. Not until I get at least enough beer, either in sale or in inventory or whatever, that I'm not trying to scrape by with almost no money. Cool. How is our reputation and all that doing, by the way? Alright. Yeah, so the trending one is currently light beers. Gotcha. And it'll take us a little while to get in our different markets and all that going. That's okay. But yeah, so our fame is going up. It's interesting that the fame apparently caps out at 50. We'll see what happens with all that. Alright, so I don't have a specific ale I need to be producing. So right now, the way I'm going to treat it is what has the highest profit rate, which is again... Well, let's go and make some cookie disappointment for Malsdorf. Because while it's not as profitable, I'm going to need beer that I could sell in the both different markets. Okay, so you can go here, sell that. Got more research ready. Let's just finish this out. Yeah, because that'll be the hops plant, which is the last thing I could do here. And that's all those researched. So now we're at innovation. We can keep that going. Yeah, we need to unlock new beers for the new city, unfortunately. Yeah, no, I figure as much. Okay, so let's check on the map and how we're doing. So right now we've got 30 liters of dwellers reserved. We got some other stuff we're trying to get over there. Yeah, imagine all of these cities become available. So it's probably one of those things that you just mostly have to worry about not selling beer to the same place again and again. I can certainly see that being a problem. I can only have 2 more rooms than I've got right now. I still need to clean you up. Yeah, so we're about to have our beer here is about to max out. And we're gonna need that because if it does run out, we'll start having people whining about not having the beer. So of course what we're gonna do is we're going to try and find of our beer what is the cheapest to make. And make as much of the cheapest beer as we can to fill up one of those. I mean, only the best. That's what I meant to say. So let's increase the shelf life of the beer. And just work on through the tech tree. Because these are the ones that are going to be a whole bunch of stuff going on. The custodial closet will be important. Yeah, no, if I ever get a chance where I'm not trying to turn around the beer real fast. Okay. So I actually had like the last sample of the light beer go bad there. A new brew. Yeah, so we've got... we'll do a round of Cookies Disappointment. And this will be for people to actually drink themselves. And I didn't check. So we have... Alright, so the new old ale is better than our old one. So we're going to rename that and draw a name for it. And this one will be AFK for Pizza. Properly aged pizza. Excellent. Sounds awful. All right, that does mean Dweller's Reserve is coming off the list. Okay, so here's Cookie's Disappointment. We're gonna sell that ale, and we're gonna send it up to Mahlsdorf as our very first thing we're selling up there. And then the other one that's going there is going to be getting sold, or going to be drank here at the place. I think I managed to get like 2 carts of beer actually out to sell. Because I'm guessing the contract things probably don't count against your impact on the market. I don't need new hires, so I don't care about that right now. Your standing with the bandits has decreased. So, for 143, you can max it out again. I'm going to ignore it for right now. We did sell some beer for about 400-something florins. Like, I'm hovering right at the fence that I can buy the equipment, but I wouldn't be able to actually make beer and utilize it. Especially considering this one's going down here, so I'm not going to make money off of it. Larger transport team. We have shared space room. That'll probably be the good one to get next. Yeah, so let's try and wait for the 45. Because that'll give us a bonus between those rooms, whatever that bonus is. Alright, so negotiate. We want to try and keep those rates coming up. Because I've had pretty good luck where we've done this at that amount. And so far we've only failed once. And so that's worked out really good for us. Okay, and you want a light ale. That's fine. We can make a light ale happen. Okay, so that's the one that stays here. So now, new brew. We need to make a light ale for the contract thing. Okay, that's available for the staff. So our staffs don't start getting angry at us because of a lack of stuff to drink here at the place. Alright. Yeah, so you still have 100 liters of beer, which we have yet to sell any of because we just dropped it off. And you have 28 liters. So we don't have a whole lot of beer out there right now. But that's okay. And hopefully that means at the end of the day I'll be able to put away like 200-300, and then that would potentially be enough for me to build a second brewery and get things going on that. Right, and I wanted to say wait till 45 for the shared bonuses for whatever's going to happen with those. Okay. Yeah, so 5 more points. Please don't fall asleep on the floor. I really want you to keep brewing. You all charge me your pay every single day, regardless of if you actually get your work done. Alright, so 600. I am willing to expand this room finally for 600. So let's go in here. Go to the brewery. I'll need this. I'll need that. I'll put the hops in there for the bonus. And put that there. Okay. I can't make beer right now with it because we ran ourselves out of money building all that. And when I ship that out, we'll get the extra 100 something. Okay. You would like another blonde. You would like a blonde ale. Cool. We got the advance. Can I get you to make the blonde ale? Yeah, you're probably my best at making it. Cool. So we'll start brewing there. So I'm not going to really be able to maintain this because of money, but that should resolve itself pretty quickly. All right. Specify the contract. And just sell what's left. Okay. Once that contract's fulfilled, we should get the money to be able to do another round. Pretty soon we'll want to mollify the bandits again. What happens is over time they'll steal a little bit of your stuff here and there. And eventually that will escalate. Like, I'm imagining when you get down here, the theft starts getting probably pretty gnarly, I'd assume. Like theft or vandalism or extortion or whatever it is they ultimately do. The good news, we're getting pretty close to finishing that objective. That's one that's been taking time to work on. Okay, so we got that delivered. So it gave me a little bit of money. Unfortunately, not enough to get things sorted quite yet. Okay, we'll sell the rest of those. All right. I'm gonna go to our research now. There's the shared spaces. So what is the bonus between the shared spaces? Neighbor room adds fermentation has been reduced by 1 day and ale quality has been increased by 1. So we get more beer faster at a slightly higher quality. AKA winning. Alright, so new brew. It looks like the blonde ale is the one that's worth the most money right now. So I'll keep brewing that. Alright. So I hope people are enjoying this and all that. I'm kind of curious, like, games like Fallout Shelter would not be something I would normally stream on the channel, because usually, like, I don't think this is going to go that way, because, like, Fallout Shelter is a mobile game that they try and get you to get microtransactions and all that. This is not that. So does those things is, like, go do the thing, come back in 2 hours when it's done, is a very typical thing of that game. But, like, the whole just sitting here, like, doing the thing, sending it out, doing the thing, sending it out. I'm curious people's thoughts of, like, that long-term kind of thing. Like, I definitely don't see this as a game I could do a bunch of streams of. I feel like the pacing's just a little slow for that. Probably an excellent game for if you want to just chill here and work on things. Cool, so we got our money from that. I don't think that's enough for another brew. Okay, we'll make the cookies beer because that's... Alright, so you didn't give me very good results on that one. So let's go ahead and have you do this one. Yeah, we can do it. Because we'll try and keep moving into that new market. I just need to keep selling them beer and have them like it. And now slowly build up our reputation and give us 2 markets to be in. Just reading Cookie's disappointment 5% in climbing. There's just something about that that makes me chuckle. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and sell you. And we're officially in winter, so likely what is popular will have changed. Old ale style is trending in all markets. All right. We get the larger transport team. Why are our fermenters big mad? Brewing the same recipe all the time is very frustrating. Look. That's just economics. If the customers are demanding a product, I am going to sell said product. Here, I'll let you mix it up. You can go here and you can make yourself an old brew. Yeah, so we're currently not selling anything in Waldorf and Hoffendorf. We just kind of got that topped off. Yeah, so I see here, there's a demand here that's very high. And yeah, my assumption is, it'd start lowering down, and when it gets too low, you start taking penalties on what you can make on it. I'm also curious, because we're about to max out our reputation with them. Which would be good, because we're going to be rubbing up against this limit here in not too long. I just need more money. We just need a little bit more money. And right about to finish this thing, which might get us to our next stage, whatever, in the monastery. All right. Yeah, so I got our 2 breweries up. The only downside here is now I'm running into the problem of I don't have the money to keep them operating. So sell. You're gonna get sold there because you're the only one who wants it. I'm gonna sell you up here. Let's see. We sold 44 litres of ale. Good to know. Alright, so we're gonna need to consider selling stuff to them. Alright, okay, so it looks like our light beer and our blonde are doing well. You need to research... Oh, right. Yeah, so we're gonna have to, because if I do that, it's not gonna be enough to bump it up too much. I hope I didn't do that before pay where it forces the loan. If it forces the loan, it's fine, we just pay it back right away. Okay, so what do we got here? Cheaper room maintenance, reduces room upkeep, fundamental flavors, increases the minimum quality of recipe by 2 during development. Monk's Bargain increases the chances of successfully negotiating by 10%. So cheaper room maintenance will just cut our costs. So I'm going to do that. There's a room like this. The upkeep on it is 15 now with the reduced maintenance. Now it's a 10%. Yeah, so that's going to be like between all those rooms. It's only gonna be like 20, 30 total, probably like 20-ish for all of it. Maybe more if some of the rooms are higher cost. But you get the idea, is like that's every single day we're getting that little extra punch. All right. I have received 1 fame, 1 satisfaction to all fermentings for 30, and a reduced monthly upkeep of 50% for 30 days. You weren't able to pay the full monthly upkeep? Yeah, so we got slapped with that because I just went too far into paying the bandits down. Alright, so 17, 19, 19. We'll keep getting some of this going. We'll have you do this one to let you make something new. Yeah, so that should help a bunch of the moods. Market trophy unlocked. Chalice of many malts. Huh? Furniture? Candelabra. Alright, so you keep the pressure up. Yeah, so right now, demand is fine there. Demand is fine in both locations. I get the feeling this dev knows beer, not a bad thing. Yeah, I mean, usually you need to be, like, passionate slash at least have a pretty strong interest to build an entire game around something. Whether or not you're truly knowledgeable or not is certainly a thing. But there has to at least be some kind of level of interest in it. Yeah, passion is there, exactly. Okay, so let's check. So you don't have any down here. And so with that, we will have all of our current beer offerings available down here at Hoffendorf. Oh, and I see later on they're going to have a delivery distance. So I'm going to lose time because just how long it takes me to get the beer back and forth. All right. So you're making more of cookies. Yeah, you're also making cookies. Disappointment. That's gonna end up just staying here for right now. Let's go ahead and make an aged one. And store it. Alright, Luxray, you take it care. Thank you again for hanging out and all that good stuff. And we'll let that sit there and age. There we go. We sold 200 liters of ale for almost 600. Heck yeah. So we did put a pretty big dent into the demand in Hoffendorf. But this place ran out of supply and they want more. And new beer. Oh, you made it terribly. You should be ashamed of yourself. But you try. Meanwhile, we can go up here and let's pay our loan back. Alright. Yeah, so we've got all them sorted. And we're working on this one. Right now, they're only accepting the light style. My assumption is as this goes along, we'll get more beer options available to sell here. Oh yeah, this is where we'll be able to get contracts as well. Yeah, and our fame is climbing fast. These are all like the tutorial guides it's telling me to read. Which I'm not going to. Alright, new contract for a blonde ale, so let's go ahead and see what we can make happen. Cool. So as soon as we get these ones out of here, we'll brew up a blonde ale. Also for chaos. I mean, I'm not drunkard, but yeah. Nah, it's fun. Okay. You have to say make their malt, and then they ferment it. Now, granted, in real life, you're not fermenting a beer in the course of like a day or two. Especially not the ways they did things back here. It need to be in that cask for like a month. I wonder if people actually struggle to keep the quality high enough. That could genuinely be the idea, is like, if you cheap out on the ingredients, could you just barely pass it but save a bunch of money per instance? So new brew, you need a blonde. Yeah, so let the properly aged sit there. Right. So this is an old ale, and the whole gimmick around old ale is for every month spent in the cask, it will gain 2 quality. For each month spent in the barrel, 5% non-cumulative chance of getting infected. So basically every month it's going to roll a dice and see if it just goes. Cookie's disappointment. We'll sell that up there. We'll get a new brew. And I'm deliberately choosing people who haven't brewed each one, just to give them a chance to see. Look at shelf life. Oh yeah, so 3 months. Yeah, because we have 112 days. Because I don't know how much the quality going up improves anything. But yeah, so we could let it go up like 2 ticks. That should be a relatively low chance. It'll be 5% then 5%. I say Malzdorf has the most receptive so far. Let us spice things up a bit before their interest wanes. Your maltiness? If we could find a way to constant supply of herbs, we could craft herbal ale. Its Groot and unexpected flavors should break the mold quite nicely. Let's see. Create? Yeah, so build an herb garden. We'll have to deal with that in a minute. Let's see. So the herb garden is down here. That's 90. Or we could just keep going with all these. That's the thing, it feels like you could rush to keep the story moving, or you could just like literally fill in all this and have like a better basis. Yeah, and the problem is I'm locked behind 90 research, and I kind of do want to just fill in these. Like, the building time I don't give a crap about. But like, improving the quality of our ale, improving the negotiation. You think it's funny we haven't reached IPA, but everyone and their brother has an IPA nowadays? Well, definitely stuff like IPAs and all those are way, way, way later beers that you got. Like, really, when we're looking at it, most of our beers are fairly light. We've got a light beer, we've got an ale, and we've got we've got a light beer, a blonde, and then we've also got the old ale. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill things. We're gonna research the whole thing. But yeah, no, it definitely feels like, again, from the content creator side of this, you know, you're kind of sitting here waiting for things to happen and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, IPAs and like Imperial Pale Ales and all those would be way, way, way later that we got those. Alright. We got a batch of beer going over there. Now I've got money properly rolling in. So that's all good news. One thing we can do in the meantime, put a torch there. Light, not torch. And we can go and put, Oh, you already have a trash can. A bunch of this just makes the room nicer. Relight all the candles. I'm gonna sweep every room just because. Okay, so sell. Complete that objective. New brew. Make some more cookies disappointment. You're the best one at making it, so you're gonna keep making it. Congratulations, you did the best job, so your reward is more work. Okay. That's fine. So you'll both make yours. Okay, so you can go here. Sell that. That sounds core for, excuse me, accurate. Yep. You did work. You did good work, so you get more work. Okay, we sold some more booze for some more cash. That increases the minimum quality. Oh, I should have had the sale of prophecies. It's fine. Meanwhile, we got plenty of money to spare. Make this problem go away. I gave the bandits a bunch of money to mollify them. Low-key, I'm waffling on more vintage story. Let me just go ahead and do a poll. Let's do this real fast. Poll. What are we doing now? Just trying to gauge what people are feeling about this game. What are we doing now? They say Ale Abbey. Basically just keep doing what we're doing if you're into it. Vintage story. I'm just going to make it those two things on the poll for right now, because that's what I'm kind of thinking. But basically just gauging if people want to see me switch over to Vintage Story, or keep going with this. We can go ahead and negotiate this. Because I'm just getting a little self-conscious that it does seem like in the game not a whole lot is moving forward. That's just kind of thing. To be fair, it sounds like a decent subsistence. The music is a bit repetitive. Yeah, and that's the thing. The music is a little repetitive, which isn't that big of a problem. You just turn off the music, turn on your own music. But it just seems like the game loop from me playing it feels good, but I'm getting self-conscious from the viewer perspective. It's a whole lot of waiting for things to happen, and then just clicking on this and making like a new brew again and again. Which again, from the playing side of it, feels good. From the watching side of it, it does worry me that it's like watching someone play like Fallout Shelter, that you kind of just sit there and wait. Which again, for the game side of it, can be a perfectly good game loop. You sit here, you hit the buttons, you run it at normal speed, and you occasionally go and click on it. Seems like the fun kind of game that I'd play at a second mod or semi-idle game. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking, is the kind of game I would absolutely sit there and I'd have a second screen going or whatever. While I'm doing like some project, you'd hear the little bell, you'd start the next brew. So like me playing off stream, I might not even potentially set up the second brewery for a long time, because I wouldn't really need to. Because it having the slower pace would be perfect for that. Because it doesn't feel like the game has any kind of like really heavy pressure in the game that's like, no, you've got to hit this mark, you got to move faster. you kind of can just take your time about it. Alright. Yeah, because even going as fast as I am slowly knocking down the demand, so eventually I would have to back off the sales anyways. I mean, your current screen is Star Sector with your dang fleet, but the screen being your beers helps with a lot with pacing. Yeah. So how's this going? Why has that got like... Oh, that's showing my shelf life left on them. So how are you doing? So you haven't gone up in quality yet. And the pull's too close for me to just be like, okay, this is what we're doing. Can't quite away from that. Yeah, so we're selling more, so if we check on... the map. Yeah, so that demand is still going down. It's still considered high. And to be fair, we're actually knocking down demand on both of them. Your main screen is Path of XL2? Nice! Well, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. One of these days I need to catch up with that. Does your seller need candles? Does that affect anything? Oh, I think it just affects, like, I don't know if, like, all of these, if we look at it, it gives it, like, 10 beauty. I don't know if the brightness matters at all, but you need to add the beauty stuff there. Man, it's stuff like this, where you just have to, like, click to sweep. I do think there was a research that we're going to get soon for custodial, and that's what I'm assuming it does, is you have to click early on to keep those running. And then later on with custodial, they take that over so you don't have to, like, manually do it. Alright. So I've got an old ale and a blonde. Alright, so it is definitely leaning towards Vintage Story. So what's going to happen is normally I won't switch the game this late in the stream, but in this particular case, like I said, I'm kind of getting that little antsy, like, okay, not enough is happening kind of thing. You know, from the content perspective. And that does happen. Because there's definitely games that we have, like, very idle stuff. Let's see. Superior. Should we give in to ambition, negotiate an incoming order of a fair bit over its original price? Serve it completely. Should we succeed, you will find our negotiations fall more and more to those who wish to partake in our craft. You must negotiate an order 50% greater price in completed. And I shall receive a massive reduction in ingredient cost. Alright, so it looks like we're switching to Vintage Story. For the record, I have very much enjoyed this game. This is kind of the game I would probably play off stream. And again, it feels like a 2-monitor game that I'd probably run one of these breweries and just do what I'm doing on my main screen, go over there, like click the next brew, that kind of thing. Which I think is excellent. But for on stream, like the early game a lot was happening and that was good. We got past the tutorial and it just slowly kind of slowed down. Now, that's normal for like a lot of Tycoon style games. Let's see, you tossed your Star Sector current onto Subsector, or Discord subspace, which is a Discord, yes. Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things there. So if you're watching over on YouTube, the stream will be going down and coming back up. If you're over here on Twitch, don't go anywhere. I'm going to be switching up the games. But yeah, so I have very much enjoyed the game. I think it's excellent. But it's from a content creator perspective, I am kind of going like,